Hey, welcome everybody. I'm using a new program and I had trouble. I tried to go live and it didn't, and it kicked me out and I lost my guest, so it's all messed up. Let me reshare this. I don't see my guests here, so let me reshare this so they can drop back in. Bear with me for just a second. Let's see, invite guests. Copy link. Let me put it back here in chat. And we'll get this figured out. I really like this program, and it needs to work for me. So anyway, it's back in chat, themelonapp.com. So guys, please drop back in. But hey, what's going on, everybody? Dwayne King, how you doing? Let's see, how's this working here? Show on stream. Alrighty. Betty Boot 45. You look fuzzy. Well, yeah, I shaved a little bit, so I don't know, maybe back here. But I don't know why I'm looking fuzzy.
James joined.
Hey, James, what's going on, buddy?
Hooray!
Yeah, I went live and it was all screwed up and it wouldn't work, and I don't know. I got to figure it out. So,
right, 1 second, because now my audio's gone weird. So it's all right. It's just
hey Matt.
For some reason. There we go. Try again.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's much better.
Awesome. Let me figure out my comments here. Everything's different here. I look all pixelated. Do I look funny, guys? Everybody sound like pixelated.
Yeah, on YouTube you do look a little bit pixelated. Me too.
Yeah, a little low quality. Okay, so
I know. Maybe it's not. I had it set to 1080p. Let me go back and check that.
There we go. Oh, right, no. So mine will only go to 720 anyway. Let's put that down a little bit.
Yeah, it's set to 1080p, 30 frames a second, so it should be fine. Hello, everybody in chat. Let me go back up to the top here. Betty Boot 45, Non-Fam. Hello, Non-Fam. Hey, Non-Fam really hooked me up with some coffee. I'm always asking, buy me a coffee, this or that. He had won a gift card a while back, and to sum it all up, I ordered 2 pounds of coffee, compliments to Non-Fam. So thank you very much, Non-Fam. You're awesome. Freshly ground, will be coming in the mail. Let's see. Let me resend that link back out to Trevor. Let's see. I don't know if the link changed or what happened, but... And then Liam was just here, so let's see. Yeah, I know a while back, Liam was in a live stream. He was doing a live stream, and his camera, I thought, had locked up on him. And actually, well, anyway, to sum it all up, what had happened, I had hit my pause button on YouTube. I sat there for a half hour, 45 minutes, waiting for him to fix his camera problem, and it was all my fault. So,
so what made you change? What made you change to the Melon one from what we were using?
Sam Prentice mentioned about this other one called Melon. He said it's cheaper. You can stream in 1080p, and it's made by OBS Studios makes it. Streamlabs OBS makes it. You can only have 6 guests in here, which you can't have 10. But then again, that might be good because 10 people sometimes is a little bit much, and it's hard to talk, and your icon gets real small. But yeah, it's instead of me paying $25 a month on a month-to-month plan for 720p, you can do this for $15 a month, be it 1080p. And then when you want to show pictures, I have to share a screen, and it's a little bit different. So, Dominic, hello. Yeah, mash the like button. David Petzel, hello, David.
Hey, David.
Andrew S, hello, Andrew. How you doing? Gary T. Travis Stamper, hello. Yeah, I'm just learning this new program, how things work here. What have you guys been up to? James.
Many things. So I've been fixing machines like crazy. I got to a point where I'm pretty sure I had one machine that was actually working, and everything else had died. So I've now got the Elf back up and running. I've got the Longer. I've got the Prusa, my other Sidewinder. They're all working again. So now I am doing a Hag House from Loot Studios, but I'm doing it large. So this is the he said without breaking it. This is the house.
Trying to figure out how to make it big. Where's it at? There you are, right there. Oh wow.
So it's the roof is removable because the whole point is that Loot Studios created it as a play space. So this is the play space that you use. Little door opens there and everything. And then underneath this, there is a base, and the base is the hag house is walking around on a big, like a big chicken foot.
Wow.
So yeah, it's meant to be based on the Baba Yaga sort of mythology stories.
Very nice.
So yes, doing that.
What have you been up to, Matt?
Well, the usual. Printing lots of things. Hold on, let me get my camera.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Looks really nice.
Palm trees and waves and sunset. Looks like Hawaii. Very nice.
And I made 2 of the same picture. One is a test picture. So, hold on, let me put this one away.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that looks okay, but the bigger one... Oops.
Yeah, the bigger one's really nice. I like that.
Yeah, just one little floor on the side right there.
Yeah, but the thing is you can see that, but I mean, maybe it's just the camera, but I can't see. I mean, I know if you zoom right in, you probably can, but like it doesn't ruin the effect of the picture or anything. I think it's really nice.
No, I think it's really nice.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So what have you been working on, Jeff?
My Anycubic Photon Mono X, I believe it is, resin printer. I just got that in the mail from Amazon here recently, and I'm doing a video on it. Printed a couple. How do
you? Because have you got the Saturn? I can't remember. You've got the Saturn.
I've got the original Elegoo Mars, and then I bought the Frozen Mighty 4K, and everybody's and a lot of people are saying the Anycubic is a better machine, so I spent $7.99. Are you out of your mind on Amazon? And I got it, and I'm working on a video for it right now.
So when you say a better machine, what I mean, so the Frozone 4K, is that a monochrome screen, or is that just a regular Technicolor screen?
Yeah, they're all these bigger ones are monochrome.
So then why is the Anycubic better?
Well, it has this Wi-Fi capable. It seems like it's built really nice. I'll just have to do the review, and I guess you'll have to watch the review and see what I say about it. So
that's very true. Yes, true.
Here's a model I did recently, my Spawn. I think I showed this off the last time I was streaming. I don't remember.
Yes, I think you did. Yeah, I really like that. None. So here's a question. How much did you hate doing the cape? Or was it not that hard on resin?
The cape was easy on resin, actually, because it's in 4 parts. It's very simple. Right. No cleanup problems. Just glue it together. Let's see. Where can I make myself big at? Right here. Yeah. When I glued the cape together, anyway, yeah, it's no big deal. There's a couple of little imperfections. I don't like capes in general. I think they're just a waste of plastic, and they're usually a pain in the butt. But the cape is removable. But it came out really good. And I printed, this is my 3rd Spawn that I printed, so it came out real good. It's easy to paint it. But yeah. My son's like, hey, Dad, how much you want for it? And I said, well, I think I'm going to keep it for a while.
See, so I'm the same with capes. So I did a large sale run. Hey, Trevor.
I don't know what happened. I went to go live and it wouldn't go live, and I finally got it going.
I didn't recognize you there.
Liam, we can't hear you.
I had the same problem.
Wait, did you join the Laser People Club?
Liam looks like Mr. Magoo with those glasses on.
That's a bit, yeah. So I'm the same with capes. I hate them.
I think what's happening. Wait 1 second. Go down to your mute button, that little up arrow next to it. Go in there and change your audio output. That's what had me screwed up earlier when we were testing. Nope.
Nope.
Here's a question for you, Matt. What do you use on your lithopanes to get the different colors? Can you kind of explain how that works?
Yes. What I do basically, in the background, I stick a piece of paper on it. That's the regular piece of paper. Oh, that's the wrong one actually. Sorry. I don't know if you can see that. The piece of paper right there. I glue it on.
And you print out different colors on the paper.
Yeah.
You hear me?
It's basically a special picture. It's not a normal picture because it's already black and white, the lithophane. So it compensates for just the colors, like the main colors. And that is it basically. And it prints it out and you just glue it back off the picture and it's done.
Yeah. Luban actually gives you that file.
Yes, Luban
so
gives
you
that
generate
file.
your lithophane, and then it gives you an actual picture to do that with. Luigi's got a really tight product, if y'all don't know about it.
Astro Printer, I love your ceiling.
So yeah, well, I'm standing up. I'm only sitting down for 2 minutes. I'm actually working on my laser right now, so
All right.
I'm still burning some stuff for a customer.
Okay.
So this is probably the better view for a while anyway till we're finished.
You
So, Jerry, did I show you my Hulkbuster? I can't remember if I did.
Well, you can always re-show it. Everybody loves seeing stuff.
Hold on.
Go say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is the Hulkbuster. He said, trying to get it in frame properly. There we go. So nice and big.
It looks fuzzy for some reason. I guess the video's
That's the
screwing
video
up.
quality.
So my webcam only does 720p.
It's not bad. It's because you're in the UK and your internet speeds are really bad.
It could be, yeah.
Well, it could be this new program I'm using called
Well,
Melon.
no. Half the time out of the UK, you're still using DSL, are you?
No, mine's fiber. So
dial-up.
I'm 350 meg broadband.
Wow. Well,
So
Where are we going?
maybe there's a great firewall. Like we've always had a great firewall. Maybe there's a great firewall out of the UK now.
maybe.
Ever since Brexit.
So yeah, so that was I don't even know how many hours, but I used the Tamiya paint on that, and it came out 1,000 times better than the other sort of metallic finishes that I've tried. I've tried metallic paints, and they've just never really. They've always looked a bit too fake. They've never really got a lot of depth or anything. But the Tamiya paint, you paint the whole thing chrome, and then the Tamiya goes on like a glaze almost. And it sort of keeps that depth and that metallic. It's really nice.
If anybody is wondering why the real Sam Prentice says Mr. Badelli, it's because of Honey Badger James called Michael Badley, Mr. Badelli, but he always says Mr. Badelli now.
It is Mr. Badelli, and that's his name now. So I think he's going to stop pronouncing it that way, and it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Joel on his Friday Hangout, he got a person, Sir Will, 3D printed him some milk duds, and they're all printed out. And at the end of his video, he said milk dudes. And I thought that was so funny because when I sent him that letter, I mispronounced milk duds and I typed milk dudes. And he showed it to the camera. He goes, "Look, he really put milk dudes." So he was on his chat. I threw him $5 or $4.99. He goes, $4.99? Are you out of your mind? I said, "This is to buy you more milk dudes," and I put quotes around it. So,
Liam, what are you burning for a customer?
Sorry?
What have you got on the laser?
I'm actually laser engraving some dowel rods.
How many have you done so far?
400 of them.
Okay.
Done 400?
He has come up with some way of using these. Let me show you the result. When he's some of the wood is not great.
Nice.
Okay.
He's come up
What,
with
are they for a gun?
using this to test coins. I haven't seen the whole device. This is only one piece of it, but he's using these to test coins to find out if they're real silver or not. Some system he created to do this. I don't know, but he wants
With dowel rods.
With dowel rods, with red oak dowel rods, and some other constructions that he's put together. I don't know the details. I'll see it tomorrow.
Okay.
When I deliver these, he'll show me one. Because he dropped these off to me today.
Right.
So it's interesting.
You've had to engrave 400 of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
It's
feels
okay.
like a lot.
It's about 15 seconds each.
Right. But are you able to do multiples at a time, or is it just
I'm
one
only
at a time?
doing one at a time. But if he decides he wants to turn around and do 1,000 of them or 2,000 of them or whatever, then I will set it up to do it with a template to do them in batch. This is a one-off for now, but he's talking about it, coming back and asking for more. And if he does, then I will set up a template in and it'll do a whole bed in this space of. Like one of these takes about 15 seconds to do.
Right.
So they're really fast. The other, if I do a template, I could do probably 1,000 of them in an hour or two. But
Fair
it's
enough.
a one-off, so.
Yeah.
So what I have is on my K40, I have a Raspberry Pi, and then I RDP into the Raspberry Pi with my tablet,
Yeah.
and then you just hit engrave each time. So I don't have to have a laptop talking to the Raspberry Pi. I just hit the button here, and it goes off and does the work for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I have K40 Whisper running on the Raspberry Pi. But I'm planning to replace the board on my K40 with I have a BTT, the new E3 minis, and I'm going to replace the board, the main board in it with the E3 mini at some point.
Right.
Because it will drive. It's just Merlin, right? So it's only XYZ coordinates.
Yeah.
I got my
if
Stream
anything,
Deck.
sorry, go on.
I got my Stream Deck set up now with this new Wave 1 microphone that's right here. So if I ever get a super chat, now I got a couple of cool sounds that I can play.
So are you using a Stream Deck thing, or are you just got macros on the keyboard?
Yeah, I got the Stream Deck. I've had it for like a year, and I've recently got it to work. When you buy this Wave 1 microphone for like $120, it comes with some software for running different mixers on the screen. So,
Right, gotcha.
And I think I got it working right. I've got it kind of working. So I got a few sounds here, like, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I got one for laughing.
And you played that just as Trevor appeared on screen.
Yeah, it's got a million different buttons and things you can program. And then I got a couple here for super chats I put in it.
And remember as well, in StreamYard, each of those buttons can be deemed folders, so you can have multiple sounds inside a folder as well.
Yeah, yeah. Chris Travis, hello. Hey, I loved your Captain America, Chris, on Twitter. I seen that. It was awesome. Done a great job.
Here, Jerry. This way.
So what have you managed to print?
glasses.
What have you managed to print on the Mono X so far?
I've done 2 prints on it. I printed from Codicement. I printed a flash bust. Then I done the test print. It's the lattice cube. I've done 2 prints on it. His daughter wants to paint it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Cool. He said the sound was kind of low. So
It's not on this side.
people in chat, is our volume of our talking the same as this?
No,
No,
no.
A lot lower?
way lower.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like the audio's coming out of your PC, and then the
Into your
microphone is
microphone.
picking it up, rather
Yep.
than it being actually like into the stream.
Yes.
Okay, let me increase the volume here. Let's see.
Trevor, are you in a shop, or are you like?
Yeah.
Have you
I'm
got
in the
one of the
mall.
largest?
That's his store.
I got a mall store.
genuinely thought that you just had this massive living room. I was like,
Is that better?
I got
better, but not as loud.
4,700 square feet.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You said that wasn't as loud?
No,
It wasn't as loud, no.
Huh.
it's because what's happening, Jerry, is your microphone is picking up the audio from your speakers. It's not actually playing directly.
Okay, I got a setting wrong then. It's supposed to do it. I just got it set wrong.
Yeah, half the store is a print farm, and then the other half is printer sales and filament stuff, resin.
So you have 3D printers around that just anyone can come in and stick their finger in?
No, that's you'll notice we have it separated here.
Okay.
Right there where the couch is and the desk is, there's a line. So this is
Right,
all the
okay.
print farm here,
Right.
and then the other side is all that for sale. And we had to do that because people would come in and, like you said, they
Touch
don't
them.
care. Oh,
Printers work great.
Mr.
as long as
Mrs.
they don't
Diesel,
touch them.
hello.
Yeah.
Like,
Printers work
my
fantastic as long
father-in-law
as the
does
person
it when he
doesn't touch
comes
them.
in my office. All he does is comes in and he just goes, "Oh, I'm going to stick my finger in there."
This is Ricky, my wife. She runs the store with me.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
My printers. Yeah. I got called a bitch yesterday in my own store just for telling a lady just to step back on the side she was supposed to be stepping through. And she just telling her kid to just go on. Had her kid running through the spot where there's 7 pieces of tape on the floor that say "Do not enter," and a sign that says "Stop. Associates only beyond here." I just
Wow.
This is why people should beat their children. The only effective way to deal with it is to beat your kids. That's it. Control them with
I don't
fear.
give a flying or not. I'd beat their ass. Right outside our door, there's like a little play area, and you can just hear kids out there screaming.
as the
And
proprietor
their
should
moms
find
are
a
on their
job.
phones, and their kids ain't even paying attention. I'm like, that kid needs an ass whooping.
How many people here use Idea Maker? I've got it open. I need to print 160 of these little TPU tracks.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
I haven't tried Idea Maker, but I want to. I've seen it lately. But just like Lychee or Lychee,
Yeah.
I mean,
Ass whooping. See? Ass whooping.
Idea Maker is the way it's tabbed, the way you do your settings. Everything in Idea Maker is based on the filament type.
Okay, I want to go in and I want to put in 15% infill. I want to set my layers. I have no idea what button. Here, I can share a screen. I'll show you.
Okay, no. Okay, what happens is, you need to have you need to create filament profiles, and the filament profile is where you set all those settings.
Right.
Like, there is one of 30. I need to print 30 of these tracks.
Okay,
I want to do one on the Hypercube just to see if it'll print it. I've never printed TPU. And in settings, there was one TPU setting for Wanhao TPU. So I just picked that randomly for TPU settings.
Sure.
I just don't know how to set my layers or my infill or anything.
click on Start Slicing.
Click on what? Brandy?
Start Slicing in the top center.
You need to say thank you to Rising Phoenix Farm.
Directly over your model, you see Start
I didn't see
Slicing.
anything.
You
Oh,
donated $5
Put your mouse over
Oh,
your mouth.
wow. Okay, I didn't see it. Hold on for a minute. I'm getting yelled at by my wife.
Yeah, it's right under where it says Library in the top menu.
Okay, I'm trying to find...
You donated $5.
I'm looking at it in StreamYard. Hold on, Brandy. Hold on, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Rising
Hey,
Phoenix
Brandy.
Bronco, thank you very much for the $5. In Melon, I don't see it. No, don't, Brandy. I got to find it.
It's
What are you trying to do?
Big J right there. You don't see it right there?
No, that's on YouTube.
Well, you tell them thank you.
I'm looking. Yeah, there it shows. Yell away. My life.
We can't go on it, can we?
No, you can't share. No,
That didn't even show up in Melon.
but no. Okay, but on your screen that you have for Idea Maker, you got that?
Yeah, I'll come back to looking at it.
Okay, go to we see where it says Library.
Right,
All
right.
over in the center,
That's it.
right below
Down,
that
down.
right is Start Slicing. Under Library. There you go. Now in here you create a new profile for your filament. So go
Okay.
to so you can choose your printer type and you can choose the extruder.
Okay, I picked this filament because that was already built in.
Okay. So you can actually use that one. Now, if you want to change that one, click on the little cog to its right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there's some of your settings. All right. All right, so click close. Now click create, and this is where you set all of your settings. And you give it a name. You can use something else as a template if you want to, or you can give it a name.
This is where I set my infill on my top and bottom and perimeter layers.
In a moment. So you have to create the profile first. So give it a name and call it whatever material you want. Yeah, but it's material hyperlink TPU. Okay, that's fine. And it's on extruder 2 or what?
Printer type, that's not the right printer. All right, well, I'll come back to it.
Okay. Well, once you hit create there, it comes in and gives you all the options where you actually have tabs like you have in Process Slicer, and you go through there and then you set all your options for your printer, for your print, your quality and your extrusion rates and everything else.
Anyway, the reason Brandy came in here, my wife came in here yelling at me, Rising Phoenix donated $5. Thank you very much, Rising Phoenix.
Super chat.
But it didn't show up in Melon, so I couldn't show it on the screen.
Maybe Melon doesn't have that feature yet.
It should show up everything. Something's weird.
Yeah, some of them do have certain features.
Yeah, you're right. It's showing it up it shows it in the YouTube chat, but in the chat on Melon, it doesn't actually show that there was. So it's like you've got to monitor both.
Oh, here it is. It didn't change colors though.
Oh, really?
Well, that's a feature request to Melon then.
Okay, it's right there, but it didn't change colors, so I didn't realize it. It went right by me.
Yeah. So that's a feature request you have to get into Melon. You submit it to them.
Yeah.
Following with it, say you need to have this now, guys. Get your act together. Actually, they should. If they're going to develop it, they should develop it that when it comes in, it auto plays a tune. You can pick an audio and it can auto play it through their system.
Can you not do that in OBS? You can do that in OBS, can't you?
You'd have to write a script in OBS to do it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think. Unless there's a plugin, I don't know.
Oh, there could be. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I haven't used Melon before, so.
Huh. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of bewildered here. Anyway, I kind of feel like this.
If you go to the library, in
use a computer. I go to the library and use a computer. They got computers in the library.
But in Idea Maker, you might actually find a profile for your filament already out there.
All right.
So here's a question. I know that we've said Idea Maker is fantastic for functional parts.
Yeah.
Because you and it wasn't Chewy. I can't remember.
It was Tom.
It was Tom. My problem at the moment is Idea Maker doesn't have tree supports, does it?
No, but in all fairness, tree supports in half the time don't work. I hate them.
No, so you're saying that, but so when I was using Simplify, I was using traditional supports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now using tree supports for everything, almost everything in Cura.
Yeah.
And I have cut my filament usage by a third minimum.
You can.
If not more.
If it works, you can. But I find tree supports can be more trouble than good.
Really?
Yeah, I've tried tree supports with a box, which is a hole in the bottom of the box, and then they had a surface above, so it was a big area to be spanned for bridging, and the tree supports failed. It failed so bad that the top part, even though the whole thing printed, when I took it off the bed, the top part wasn't adhering to the rest of the print because of tree supports. But when I do normal standard supports, it prints like a dream.
Mr. and Mrs. Diesel, I should have the video done hopefully by tomorrow night. There's some other software I want to edit with. I'm trying out DaVinci Resolve with some other plugins. I want to have bullets pop up and point out key features. I don't know how to do that, so I have to figure it out. So hopefully by Monday morning, I should have the video up. I hope.
Resolve is very powerful.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with it, and it's free.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got Movie Studio Platinum 16 that I use. I'm real familiar with how to edit and do this and that, but Tripod just released a video, and it was really cool. They're showing different parts and showing where all the screws are and the measurements. I got a link to the site where I can do that. I just have to figure out how to do it in my program.
Yeah, it does take some. It requires some process flows and stuff like that in Resolve, but you can do a lot with it. I haven't played around with it a lot myself, but I've seen it and I've seen its capabilities.
Damn it! Do you think Ike knows anything about it?
Now this Ike doesn't anyway. He's nicknamed me Ike because he thinks I know everything.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes Liam will start rattling on about something, so I start calling him Mike in the stream. Yeah, I just leave out there. We can get one more person in here if you want. We can have 6 at a time. If anybody else out there watching would like to drive in, that'd be really awesome.
I was saying about that, Jerry.
What's that?
That people who go around thinking they know it all, it's really annoying to those of us who actually do.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Chad Talon, hello. How you doing, buddy? Chewy.
Was Chewy there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
just trying to figure out this new program I'm working with. And here's, let's see, let me share a screen again. Oh, where's it at? And it says loading. Alrighty, here's our next project that we're going to be working on. Where'd it go? It's supposed to be over here.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that project. If I get what I want, the one thing I'm waiting on, I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go to full size.
Okay.
What, you want to do a full size R2?
I'm going to do full size, the LTO.
And I have no idea why it has lines in it. I'm looking at it on my desktop like that too.
Oh, I don't know. It's the resolution.
And I just printed this on the Anycubic right here.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Who's that? I know. Sorry, I know who it is, but who's the model by?
That's by Photosmint.
Oh, okay.
By Photosmint.
Yeah.
And this is by Wexter, doing a Godzilla head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was done on my Frozen Mighty 4K.
So you're doing all yours in Cheatybox, but are you doing your Mono X in Cheatybox as well,
Yes,
or are you doing that in the Photon software, Anycubic software, whatever it is?
I didn't know they had software, but I haven't tried their software.
I think they still have it, don't they?
And that was me with a beard and I look older, so now I shaved it off. And that's what I love to use with all my resin printers. Elgumars, I used PTFE lube, but Rain-X seems to help a lot. I just take a blue shop towel and wipe it out, pour in my resin, and go. It helps a lot with popping. And there's another picture of Spawn that I did there.
That's a lovely print.
Yeah, it came out nice. Can you see my mouse?
Yep.
Yeah.
You pull out this pin right here. You take its head off. It's not glued down. You pull out this pin. You can take off this section here. It's just pressed in place. Pull that pin out, and you can unhook the cape off his arm. That's all one big piece, and it wraps around.
Oh, okay.
It holds, and there's a magnet on its back. It kind of helps it. The magnet's not strong enough. And there's a picture of that Anycubic there.
I'm wondering, could you replace those pins with neodymium magnets, the really strong magnets, small ones?
The pin up front works great to hold it in. There's no reason to have a magnet on the front.
Okay, I was just thinking.
But there is a magnet on the back.
All right, I was just thinking the magnet overall would hold it really strong. It wouldn't move.
Well, the designer, when he made it, I'd done a test print. He asked me what size magnets I had. I had some real small rare earth magnets, so that's how big he made the hole. And then I took some epoxy sculpt, 2-part putty, mixed it up, shoved it in, crammed the magnet in it, and wiped off excess.
Yeah, those are the neodymium magnets, the rare earth magnets. That's what they're called.
Yeah, I've heard that lychee is better, but I haven't tried it. I have it installed. I just haven't messed with it yet.
Yeah, so I could have sworn. I mean, I know when the Photon first came out that Anycubic had their own slicer with like predefined profiles and everything. But then everyone started using Cheatybox, and it kind of
it dwindled.
I always thought it was a bit It was a bit limiting, like the Flash Forge slicer, though, wasn't it? Really, like it was never.
So even Soval now are actually taking Cura and they're releasing their own slicer. Like, what's the point of that?
So why is my answer?
That's my question. Like, I don't understand why they're doing that when they're basically taking an existing product and they're using an older version of it, and then they're adding their profiles to it.
It's exactly the same as Lowesbot did, which is that Lowesbot took a Cura branch and made their own, and they made it green rather than blue. Yeah. But here's the issue. If you have, say, Lowesbot's Cura and your Cura on the same machine, they both pull from the same libraries. So if you make a change in your Lowesbot Cura, it messes up your core Cura.
Well, the other thing about it is they did add, and the one thing they have done is they have made changes. Lowesbot have made changes, and I know they have, to the point, like Lowesbot machines do, and something that other machines don't do. They heat up to a point, then they move over to a scrub area where they clean the nozzle. Yeah. And then they cool down again, and they do a couple of different steps that Cura doesn't do by default. So they have customized it for a reason. There is no reason why others would have to do it unless you have.
But just to be clear, if you created a Lowesbot profile, that's all just start G code. It's nothing. They've not done any Cura dev. They've just got a set start G code that goes into the machine that does their. So I have TAS 6.
They've done more.
Well, but what I don't understand is why create an IT debt burden on yourself when Cura is still being actively developed. I could understand doing it with Simplify because
hey guys, I haven't checked my Etsy store in a couple days, but I did put a big sale on, and I'm looking at my store right here, and I don't see some of my models.
You do it.
So I think I better go check my email and see if I sold something that's not being listed.
I could check it. I mean, I can't.
Cool.
So I think I might have sold my spawn. I don't see it listed here for sale. And if I don't check my email, if I don't check that email on that account, I don't know I made a sale.
Well, you go check it.
That's crazy. Yeah, this computer here, I don't know how to.
Don't be a slacker.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Let me go check and see if I made a sale.
James,
but yeah, I don't understand why you would want to make your life more difficult. If it was something like Simplify, where it's not been updated in 2 years, I 100% get the idea of taking your own branch and active dev.
I wouldn't even get my own branch and just walk away and get something better.
But do you know what I mean? And then when they build their own branch, they go, oh yeah, well we'll build it on 3 generations old. Obviously, we're not going to want the latest features for free in our branch.
Why would you even go that? I don't understand. There's no sensibility unless you wanted to do something and you're going to dev code to make it do something for your specific printer. There is no point in doing it because all you have to do is create a JSON file and submit it as a branch.
But as I say, the problem is let's say you've got a Lowesbot TAS and you want to use the Lowesbot slicer, but you don't. But then you also have an ender. Or you then have, you've then got some longers or sidewinders or whatever. If you make changes in Lowesbot Cura, it affects core Cura because they share all the libraries. So it's like, why would you ever use it? What purpose? Because that implies if they share that many libraries, that implies you could even just pull their stock profile out of Lowesbot Cura, run it in regular Cura, and providing there's not a savage version mismatch, then you should be able to run it in that.
There's a savage version mismatch. They are way behind. They are on 4.1 or something like that.
Jesus.
Or even less. No, even before that. I think there may even be an earlier version. They are
what's the point?
way behind.
You just create IT debt and a dev build for no reason.
And to make it better, they have remember when Lowesbot kind of was almost gone, and then it came back.
Because the buyer printers,
They moved location because of that, right? So they actually lost a lot of their staff. Just did not want to move because their headquarters were moved because of the buyout. So they've lost their only Cura dev.
Awesome! Really? Here, we gotta have some music for this.
I'm not making this up. You sold one.
I just sold my spawn.
Already?
I had it listed for $400, but I'm having a sale on most of my stuff at 25% off. So it dropped it to $300. A man in Texas bought it. So cool.
Good job.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Awesome. I was going to share my screen and show you my store, and I'm looking at my store. It's like, wait a minute, where'd my spawn go? Because I'm trying to save up to buy a Canon DSLR for doing resin time lapses, and that'll help pay for it.
Well, that's most of the way there now. The shipping will probably be $40 with insurance.
Yeah, I mean, I got free shipping on it, so it's like $25, $30 in shipping.
Yeah.
I can't have, here, let me share my screen real quick. Yeah, here's my Etsy store. I don't have much on it because I haven't had any sales, but I printed out a whole bunch of these Spawn logos. Sanix made these up for me a long time ago. And then stickers. I've sold one sticker like 6 months ago. And then I've got 25% off on a lot of these other things here.
Very cool.
So this Jason here is really cool. I did this a long time ago. A friend of mine over in Germany designed this, and I printed and painted that a long time ago. So, but 25% off, it definitely helps. So I guess from now on, when I list stuff on Etsy, I'm going to have to just have a discount and everything.
Don't do it on an ongoing basis, because then everyone will think, oh, it's always on sale.
Yeah.
Do it on periods, and then you'll get spurts of sales.
I'm running this sale here currently for a month, but that's cool. That's 2 sales now, so that's awesome. And if you're watching in chat right now, you're awesome. Thank you very much. I'll get that shipped right out to you. Very cool.
Congratulations, your first major sale.
Is that one of your first painted ones that you've sold? Because I know you sell a lot of your unpainted stuff.
That's my first painted one that I've sold. I've sold a few things privately here in Las Vegas through my son. Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let me go back up and catch comments.
But yeah, Liam, as you said, I mean, there's. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there are things that they've gone out and devved that are specific to them. So, for example, if they've got the bioprinter stuff, they probably have done a decent amount of dev to make those work. No,
That's a different company. It was guys who were with Lulzbot that do all of the. Are you talking about the ones?
I thought that was the whole reason they were saved. I thought the whole reason Lulzbot got saved was because the bioprinter side was bought as part of the sale.
Or is it the ones that do the cadavers? What's the guys that 3D print cadavers? They do the 3D print cadavers.
No,
they were on the whole stream. They are what they are, and they were when the buyout happened.
Yeah,
and half the staff were left behind in Denver.
Bioinks, unmodified collagen, other soft materials for pharmaceutical, cosmetic testing, tissue engineering, regenerative medicine, and so much more.
Well, there's another company who are...
And that is Lulzbot Bio. So the Lulzbot Bio. I am sure the reason they were bought out was literally to save Lulzbot Bio. They didn't actually really care that much.
My battery's running low. Give me a second. Okay, we can... I'm not going to say it. We can touch on this for a minute, John Clark. The arrangement for selling physical models that you 3D print all depends on the designers. Most designers don't care if you sell 10 or less of any particular thing, but you have to talk to them. Once you can't ever sell an STL, but let's say you download something off Thingiverse, you want to sell it. Sure, print it and sell it. If you want to do 10, 20, 30, or 40, you're not allowed to do that. You would have to contact the designer and see what his conditions were. Some designers don't care, some do. Anything I list on Etsy, I list where it came from, and I notify that designer before I put it up there that I'm going to sell it, so there's no sneakiness going on. And everybody has different rules. Some people have Patreons where they say, if you give me $50 or $60 a month, you can sell as many as you print. I don't care. Some don't. So it's all on an individual basis. You would have to check with that designer to see if they cared. And if they say, sure, Jerry, I don't care what you do, copy and paste that and put it in Notepad. So if there's ever a problem, you can say, you said it was fine. Now you're saying it's not. So it's kind of a gray area. Get it in writing on email. It's something that most people don't like talking about because everybody has an opinion. You know how that goes. Well, as long as you get it in writing on email, then you're okay. That you give permission because if it's not in the email,
it's worth the paper it's written on, right?
And
Yeah.
Dwayne, you say you suck at painting. Anybody can paint. Just take your time. If you're getting older and you wear glasses, like me, I'm almost 57. I got to have a lot of light, and I got to wear reading glasses. Just take your time. Don't be in a hurry, and you'll figure it out. You small paintbrushes, paint small things. It's just a matter of practice makes perfect. I don't paint perfect. James is 1,000 times better than I am, but he paints more than I do. So the more you paint, the better you get. So anyway,
I hate
That's how
painting.
James do doodles.
yeah.
I've hated painting ever since I started. I don't find it relaxing. I don't find it enjoyable, which is why I literally paint as quickly as humanly possible. So the only reason I airbrush is because it's quicker than regular painting. It's not even because it gives a better finish. It's quicker for me because of the size of the models that I do.
Yeah.
So it means that I've got a decent amount of playroom to work around with an airbrush.
Rattle cans, bulk spray.
Well, yes, very true. Yeah, but yeah, I hate painting. I've always hated painting because it never looks the way that I wanted it to.
Best thing to do is always check with a designer. That way, you know exactly what they want. Some designers say, "I don't care. I want my stuff all over the world. Print 1,000 of them. I could care less." And no, you don't have to give me nothing extra. Everybody's different, so you just got to talk to people. PM them if you're on Facebook. PM them. Talk to them. You can email them, whatever. But everybody's different. Has a different opinion on what they want for their models.
Yeah, and as I say, I mean, so there's quite a lot of Patreons that offer what they class as a merchant tier, where you can then sell as many of the finished models, painted or unpainted, as much as you want. It really does depend.
Hello, Carl. How you doing? Yeah, I'm using a new program here called Melon. It's by Streamlabs. It's in 1080p. I can only have 6 people at a time on screen instead of 10. But actually, I think that's better because sometimes we get too many people and nobody can talk. So, yeah, I'm thinking about switching over from Streamyard, which I pay $25 a month. This is only $15 a month. I just got to get used to it. Things are a little different. So, anyway, so that's really cool. I'm so damn happy. I mean, I'm thinking, oh no, because I always tell people I'm always prompt. Whenever I go anywhere or do anything, I'm always early. I'm never late. Every job I've ever had, I'm always there a half hour, 45 minutes early. And I would hate to sell something and have it sold 3 or 4 days ago, and I forgot to check my email. Hey, Trevor, I just sold my Spawn for $300.
Hell yeah!
Cool. Yeah, I was asking $400, but I got a lot of my models on Etsy at 25% off, so that's cool. Now I can put some more stuff on there. That's awesome.
Nice.
So
makes it worth it, when you can pay for your hobby.
I've got hundreds of things behind me that I need to sell, and I thought about boxing most of this up and only having a few things on the shelf so don't look cluttered. But I got to be careful. I box it up that I don't break it. Because, stacking prints on top of each other, it's very easy to break things.
Yeah. Especially resins, because resin is more brittle than most.
Yeah. Well, all my resin stuff is a lot smaller.
I liked your idea on using hot glue to put them together. That way you could take them apart for shipping.
Yeah.
And they can put them together.
Yeah, just put a little dab somewhere and stick that together for show. And then you can always pull it back apart, peel it off with your finger, yeah. And that was Tony Chambers by 3D Model Crowdfund is the one that told me that. And that's where that Spawn came from. He had that commission, that Spawn that I sold. And I made one for my son that's like this big. It's like 250%. And the one that I just sold is 150%.
I see you guys later. I will pop in around about half an hour, 45 minutes, hopefully back.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in, Matt. I appreciate it. Well, you're always welcome.
Take care, man.
Yeah, one year for around Christmas time, I wanted some boxes, and I got rid of all of them. So next time I order from Amazon, I don't know about you guys, but I get Amazon's at my house 2 or 3 times a week usually, and I get a lot of boxes over time. And I just had way too many in the garage, so a bunch of them I flattened them and put them inside a bigger box. Rather than throwing them away, I just flatten them.
I don't keep them at all. As soon as it comes in the door, the box is gone. I don't keep any of that stuff.
I keep boxes. Well, say that. I keep what I think is going to be a useful one.
Well,
like
if I buy something that's under warranty, I'll keep it for the first month or two to make sure it still works. I don't have to ship it back.
Yeah.
After that, the box is gone. If I buy stuff off Amazon, small stuff, then I don't bother. They go straight into the recycling.
I'm just saying, if you want confusion, let me know.
The real Sam Princess is here somewhere, but I don't see him.
It's supposed to be modified.
He's hiding.
Okay, somebody. Oh, here he is.
Yeah, he is.
There he is. Hey, Sam, what's going on?
Pretty much just modifying it too.
Like when he's not seen and waiting.
Modify 'em.
Well, I was talking about you earlier, Sam, talking about Melon and how you referred me to this really cool app that I didn't know was floating around for the last 6 months or so.
I think Sam's got the original link, though. I think he's probably sitting in the waiting room of the other link.
I don't know. I might have. Yeah, I kind of screwed up. I went to start my live stream and it didn't start, and it's like, oh no, I had to I don't know. It just didn't start. Something happened.
Hey, Melon.
So I am going to be building a BLV MGN cube at last. So the plan.
That's a good idea.
So when we tried a little while ago to do, I think it was on Proper Printing. They converted an S5, one of the Crealities, so that the A-frame moved backwards and forwards rather than.
Here's the link right here, guys. Sorry.
So we thought we'd give it a go. Mike's S4 was broken anyway, so we were like, well, we'll print the parts in ASA. Hopefully they'll have less flex, and they didn't. It's obviously a flawed design anyway. The guy who did it originally, he had relatively good results, but as soon as it starts to go up, sorry, go on.
We've got the real Sam Princess coming on. Hey, Sam.
Hello there. Sorry, I was thinking this Melon stuff's really bad. I've been sitting here for half an hour and nobody's letting me in. What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
wow.
I went live on the wrong link, or I don't know what happened. I went live and it didn't go live. So, and everybody's like looking at me, and my wife's yelling, and I was like, oh no, everybody in the green room disappeared, and I got to figure it out.
Nightmare. How are we doing? All right?
Real good.
Awesome stuff.
I was getting ready to start printing some tracks on my Hypercube. I want to print one track instead of 60 to see how it prints. And I was thinking about using Idea Maker. And I was just trying to ask the guys here, what settings I need to get going in Idea Maker to try it out.
Okay, well, this is the beginning of the track that I've started printing, which is in TPU. And that obviously slips around here eventually. There's another little track. And what you do is you have, in fact, I could do this now. I could do this live. So what you do is you just literally line him up. So in this case, it's going to be this side. And all you do is grab one of these little rods. These are little helicopter rods. And you just knock it in. That's it. Simple stuff.
I got a question. Ninjaflex would be great, but if you got the tougher TPU, it still might work because it bends all the way around with a bolt. Yeah. So I don't think it matters which TPU you use. Okay.
Yeah, I think 95A should work, I think.
I think there's some good stuff to happen. I'm just having some issues printing it at the moment, but only because it's on a printer that probably isn't the best printer to do that job. But whatever, it's all right. It's working.
So what's it? 95 and 98. The TPU, the two different ones.
I like 95.
Yeah. And I'm
95 is harder.
Yeah, and 95 is what I'm using, and then I'm using Prusa Slicer now on this too. There is a difference, as we saw last night, but. Yeah, it's and the tracks are coming together as well. So I've wired up the bearings for these. Started wiring bits and pieces up so that you can see this.
So quick question: what you're connecting the tracks together with is like steel. I say steel, but like you know what I mean. Like it's stainless rods, is it?
Yeah, it's some helicopter rods. So
could you not? I mean, maybe I'm just a cheap sod, but could you not use filament?
No,
you could. Yeah, you could, but it's this kind of design is going to be scaled, so we want to make sure that we can change those little individual bits out quickly. As I say, there is a bit of method in the madness, especially if we do. This kind of stuff will be used on the bigger TDU. So we're talking about a track system that's going to be probably 100 or so deep, and it's going to have some serious tolerances on it. The other issue is with that particular track is that if you get a stone in there, it can kind of jam the gear. So we're just going to have to kind of look at how that goes together. But yeah, it's cool. You know, I'm quite excited for this. And of course, you know, Liam, you mentioned about the other droids, and you know the deal with that, of course. But you know, if you're clever about it, you can still make that, and these tracks will still work with that. So you know, it's not something I can do. But I heard you're going to do 100% of something. So
I'm planning to. I'm the what is it? The red one that you have?
The ALT. Yeah.
The ALT. So I'm planning to do 100% ALT. I have 20 spools of filament on their way. PLA plus.
Yep.
I'm waiting on, and it's going to be orange, but I don't care because it's going to be painted. But I'm waiting on a 500 by 500 printer, and I have some conversations going on that might actually solve that problem for me.
Okay. Good.
Because the largest printer I have is a 350, which is the Ender 5 Plus.
Yeah.
And I have to cut it up in a big way to make it fit. So if I can get the larger print bed, my problems are solved.
Smart. Yeah. Well,
Sam, what's the Sam? Is your rat rig? Is that 500 or is that a 400? I can't remember.
It's 520, I think it works out to be.
Oh, right, okay.
So that I've got 3 S5s, of course, but there's 40 days and 40 nights worth of printing there, easily. And again, you know, even things like the Lazy Susan, which is basically what spins the dome. There's a 3D printed file for that. I'm printing one at the moment for the 50% droid that we're working on right now. I've got a lot of printers in here at the moment. Probably not as many as James, but there's only
most of yours. At least yours work.
Yeah, there's only 3 that aren't working. So that's in this room at the moment. Hi Betty, how you doing? Hi guys, hope you're well. Yeah, so it's cool. It is cool. You know.
All mine work. The problem is they're all too small for what I want to do with them. They'll be busy doing other components that are going inside for mounting, like mounting units for the motors and stuff, right? But
start out a little bit high.
I have a size limitation, as you know, so hopefully that'll be solved maybe next week.
Liam, I really expected you to do like a full-size Mars rover. But saying that, I don't actually know how big the Mars rover is. I don't know how big it is.
I would do the size of a car.
Is it?
Yeah, but Michael Badley has done a small version, like a 6-wheeler.
Who? Sorry? Do you mean Bedelli? You mean Michael Bedelli?
Yeah, Michael Bedelli.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fair enough. I know what you mean.
You mean Mr. Bedelli, don't you? Not
That's
Michael.
it. I tell you what, James. So James and I were on a private chat the other day, and you made a comment about a certain model that looks at you, and I can't now get that image out of my head when I see you on the screen now. So,
absolutely. They're staring at me right now.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, sorry, we're drift over that one, but it's just caught in my mind now, and I can't get it out. So there you go. I'll look away.
Yeah, so if I had the space to have full-size models like that, I would, but I don't, because they are astronomically huge.
Yeah. I have to admit, I didn't know the Mars rover was like that big.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes perfect sense that it is, obviously.
Minus the camera turret.
Yeah.
If you stood beside it, and the top level, which is mainly flat, would be up to your shoulder.
Jesus. I mean, that makes perfect sense. It's literally supposed to explore a planet, so making it small would have been weird.
You can download on your phone. You have Android or Apple?
I've got Android.
Okay, good man. There's a piece of software called. Let me get the name of it for you. It's made by NASA, and it's free, and it's called Spacecraft AR. Right?
Spacecraft AR.
If you install that. Inside, let me bring it up on my phone.
AR.
Yeah.
Yep. Same.
So it's made by JPL, and what you do is when you open it up, you choose your mission. So you say Mars. Let me see if there are new rovers on there. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's Curiosity.
So is it Curiosity? It's not Curiosity.
No,
the new
Perseverance.
One, is it? Oh, right.
And if you bring it up, you can scale it to 100%. You can see how big it is in your home. And it does augmented reality overlay of that in your living room or in
That almost looks like a Doctor Who set down there, don't it?
Yeah, it does a bit. Yeah. Or like a really specialized sex dungeon.
So it's a really cool software, and you can actually put your kids standing in the background, and you can make it look like they're leaning on it, and they're getting their photograph taken beside the actual spacecrafts.
Yeah, I've got an Android S10.
Yeah, you can use it on that as well. Spacecraft AR. It's by NASA JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and you install it, and you can actually do an overlay on your camera, and it does a VR layout, because it asks you to scan your floor, and it puts it on there. You can set it to full scale model. It actually displays a full scale model of it, and you can see how big it really is, and you can move around and navigate it.
Wow.
You get it working, James?
Yeah, I think so. Tiny.
Do full scale. There's a full scale button on it.
Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, full scale. Oh, fuck me. All right, okay.
Here, James, we're looking at you, James. Like you're big.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Big.
So I don't know if you can see. Hold on.
Memory cards.
So that's the rover
Taking over
inside.
the room and more.
Oh, cool.
It's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, it is
Most
large.
people don't realise they're that big. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that big. I mean, again, he said, I don't know. I suppose you just think of like when you're thinking of it. I think you think of it like
Small things.
yeah, because you think how expensive it is. I can't remember who did the calculation. It says it's like $100,000 for every £2 or something like. I can't remember how much it is, but like insanely expensive for every kilo that you send up.
Try something else. Bring up on the app. Bring up Voyager spacecraft,
I'm done.
or any of the other deep space data like Voyager or
Curiosity, Insight, Perseverance,
no. Come out of that one.
Ingenuity.
Go back one.
Oh, okay.
Sojourner.
And pick one. Let's say deep space. I think it's called.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anybody in chat have any questions? You're welcome to ask. If you'd like to drop in, I posted a link there. If you'd like to drop in, we can have one more guest. A maximum of 6 with Melon.
Maximum
Voyager.
of
There we go.
Yeah.
Do full screen. Do full size.
Oh my God. Okay, right, fine.
Keep going up,
really
and up and up and up.
All right. Okay, that's quite nice.
Most of the stuff we launch into space is not small.
So, Jerry, tell me, how are you finding your Melon?
Well, I had trouble going online. I thought I had it all set up, and I hit go live, and it's like, it didn't do nothing. It says, pick a name, pick a title. It's like, what do you mean? I've already set it up yesterday. So I eventually got it running. I'm supposed to be in 1080p, but different people have said that we look fuzzy. And I noticed when I full screen James or Astro Printer, Liam, they look kind of fuzzy. So I think I like it, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, you can. If you click on your video, you can then set your resolution. So
Yeah,
I don't know where I'm at with that, but that should be 1080 with a bit of fuzz.
Yeah,
So-
so mine isn't. My webcam on here at the moment is only 720p, so that's all I get.
Okay.
Yeah, I get 720 as well. I mean, the Mac I have is at 720.
You're not locking up now.
No, yeah, I've changed the port over. I think there was an issue with. It's weird. I think there was an issue with the Atom Mini thing. So I've done a software upgrade on it and messed around with that a little bit. But I haven't really got time to start messing around with other stuff because I'm in the middle of project mode at the moment. So I've just printed a Dies Design hot end mount in PETG, which is going to hopefully go on the end of 5+. We shall we'll see how that runs.
I've got a question. The TPU tracks, to print 60 of them, about how much TPU you think that'll take? 1 or 2 rolls?
No, I was told it would be less than a kilo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, but they take an hour each to print. So, 60 hours.
All right. So 333 at 15% infill.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I would print them individually. Well, because if anything goes wrong, you lose a whole bed of them, and it costs.
Yeah, well, I want to do one on a test print on my Hypercube or my CR10 Max. If one comes out good, then I'll load up 10 or 15 or something.
And cross your fingers and hope for the best. Okay.
There you go.
This was the 5 and 6 that I tried to do. These are the only fails. What happens is obviously you start getting a wobble at the top here, and as it starts to wobble, it just takes it off. So yeah.
All right. So on my Hypercube, the bed only goes up and down on the Hypercube, and the head moves only. That might be better.
Right. Okay, Jerry, I'm going to pause my video for a moment. I'm going to move out of here into my office.
Sure.
Because I'm done with the printing, so with the burning.
All right.
So
Give me a moment.
you may not want.
So, Sam, question for you. Do you think you have any use for one of the high temp fetus hot ends? Where is it? So these ones go up to like 500 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I'm running Slice Engineering ones anyway, and this guy's design one I think goes up to 400 or 600. Can't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, when we get into doing a big version of this, for example, probably I'll probably going to use certain elements on that. Ultimately though, any kind of encasement is going to be sort of PLA plus, PLA, something like that. But when it gets down to the gearing and servos and things like that, and I also wanted to put a rig on. So I had this idea with Rack Rig because it's a cube. Across the front of the printer, I wanted to install a camera for auto lamps, but I want the camera to move in a programmed path, so it will move left to right on the frame. So I've got this idea of the whole thing kind of moving, and and I said to Rack Rig, this could be maybe, because that's what they make primarily. They make sliders for video editing and stuff. So I was like, have you ever thought about doing that? And he's like, no. And I said, well, let me knock up a few ideas. So I've got a few sort of renders and stuff done now. And I kind of figured that might be quite cool. Certainly if you're trying to capture, a big print and you want that to move and zoom out and, get the macro on it and, see it all. And the other thing is when you install those tiny little endoscopes on the end of the nozzle. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest issue you're going to have is that because the bed. Oh no, I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? Because if the bed goes down, you still see the top of the print and the top of the print.
But it's not on axis. So this will move. So the camera will move down physically. So you can look down, and then it can move move out and stuff. So that's the idea. So I'm quite looking forward to sort of starting that. But I'm literally at the moment I'm doing the Ender 3 Pro upgrade. I'm just gonna. It's actually working phenomenally well now. It's interesting because somebody said to me springs, and if you look at the springs, I'm going to do a video on it. There are 3 normal size springs, and there's one which is at the back left, which is where the tensioner is. Yeah. And it looks like it's been cut down, but it just looks like it's got no compression at all on that. So those were all swapped out. Did the springs, then managed to get a print, but then the bed is wonk. So then I got the glass bed for that, and since then it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So cut, and it's printing PETG, and I've been back to Comgro, and I've said, look, these are the things that I've done, and I think they're going to offer me some cash back on the stuff that I bought for it, which is nice. There's a rod that was bent. There's a bunch of other stuff that I wasn't happy with on that stream, and I thought, sod it, you know what? I'm just going to keep upgrading it. So Big Tree Tech are sending me out the Ender motherboards that they've just done. I'll stick the colour screen. I'll stick the colour screen on there. I'll do a whole bunch of stuff with the rollers on the filament and stuff. And I don't want to change it too much. I don't want to put. I don't think it's worth for the cost of the print. I don't want to invest any money into the hot end. So,
hey, how long you been sitting there, buddy?
I don't know, about 10 minutes.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Jerry's taking his eye off the game here.
It's over here on the left side, and I didn't even notice it. Yeah, my wife had to come in and say, I seen that you tagged me, so I threw it on screen, and I threw you the link, and it's like, okay, dude, I know, the link's there. I'm here. Okay, sorry.
So, Sam, if you have need of one, then give me a shout. I can send you one of these fetuses that I've got lying about because I'm not using them. So,
just out of interest, are they what do I need? Is it Bowden or is it direct drive? Or can it be either, or is it just a hot end?
So theoretically, it's Bowden. It could be either, depending on how you set up your direct drive. It's not the V6 version. It's the version that almost goes directly onto like a Creality stock X-axis.
Okay.
So cool. I mean, as I say, if it's of use to you, then give me a shout and I'll send you one over.
What are you doing, buddy? How are you doing?
Good. Just ordering.
That's a good angle, Marcel. Good angle.
Yeah, this thing is going to be growing out for the next 3 weeks. I don't know what I'm going to look like with so much facial hair. But
cool. So you got to tell us about your new job. Can you talk about it? What are you doing?
Not really. I work as an extra in film, so I'm working on a Disney film, and they want me to grow my facial hair out. So that's all I can really say.
You got to play a monkey or a Wookiee or something, or
He's a droid. He's a droid.
I can tell you I'm playing a pirate, but I can't tell you for what.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, you got good pirate jokes.
Arr.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a lot. Study, research.
Amazing. Well, good luck for that.
Extras, working as an extra is fun. It's a lot of long hours, though. I mean, they can be 14, 15-hour days.
I did a 16-hour day 3 days ago or 2 days ago.
That's not uncommon. And you're repeating yourself. Yeah. You do take after take after take after take, and you could do it 20 times and then say, well, let's move on and go on to do something else. And 2 days later, you're doing it all over again. I was actually in my younger, stupider years, I was actually an extra on the Braveheart movies because they were recorded in Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I actually have my when the battle scenes were going on, all the up close stuff right behind the main actors. I was one of the guys behind them with the metal sword. Awesome. Doing the fighting right behind the main actors.
Yeah, Andrew S. that hangs out in chat, and I had on as a guest a few months ago. He's probably in chat now. He's been an extra in some different movies, and he could have been in Vikings, but it didn't work out. I guess he'd have to fly there and do this, do that.
Here, the Braveheart, this one, the sword from Braveheart.
That's super cool.
Oh, wow,
nice.
This is one of the parts we use on set.
That's awesome.
They're actually they look like they're actually folded steel. That's what they used.
Right. Amazing. Pretty cool. I've yet to take home any props from any sets.
They allowed us to take some. Because they had so much made. I mean, you can imagine they had thousands of these things made up.
Did you go live this morning, Sam?
Did I go live? No, I didn't, mate. I went to. That's weird, actually. I went to the Porter. I think it's called Portadillo Orthodontist Perfect Smile Clinic this morning because now I'm on YouTube. I want to get everything fixed on my face. So I figured, now that I'm broadcasting out to America at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, I better get the smile sorted out, get rid of the bins, start looking into the camera, that kind of thing.
So he's a magic dentist, is he?
Yeah, yeah. I know. Very clever. But so just had a really good experience and basically spent as much as you would do on a small car to do 15 months worth of work in my mouth. So the dentist was very nice though. She was a very nice lady indeed. So whatever.
So now that you're getting the mouth fixed, what about the rest of you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can't fix ugly. That's the unfortunate thing.
So when you say that the dentist was very nice, did she have nice
eyes?
Well, it was private, James. I'm sure you only go to the NHS, being normal UK guys. But when you go private, they're a step up.
I mean, to be clear, I'm from Essex, so we just get kicked in the mouth by a horse at some point, and then that tends to sort out whatever's going on.
Yeah, but that's Towie is all over that, isn't it? And that's all kind of white teeth and implants.
Yeah, so they're the only 6 people in Essex who have their own teeth. Have
you guys been watching The Resident Alien? That's been really good on Sci-Fi. The Resident Alien.
No.
So they have their own teeth.
All right.
That's one of the shows I got to work on a lot because it's actually filmed here in British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
very cool.
It was freaking hilarious. I'm actually one of the people who died in the very beginning in the cave in the mine, and represented as like one of the 60 that died in the mine. And
so if I go back and watch the first episode, could you point yourself out?
No, because I'm not really in the first episode, to be honest. Like, you can see my shoulder and shit like that, but like the group of us that were hired or whatever for that.
Well, you were more in it than we were.
Well, once the editors get their hands on stuff, about 60% of it is dumped. So,
did you ever see the actor in his costume? The main actor.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Well, the main actor actually, what's his face there, isn't actually the one that's in the alien costume. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I seen him. I thought it was him in makeup one time talking about how many hours it takes to put it on and do this and do that. But,
Well, that alien costume face is actually like a mask. Like it just comes off and on. It's not painted on or anything.
and I think the mouth and stuff like that, there's certain parts of it they got to blend in. So, I don't remember. I've seen a video on YouTube on it. Of course, on YouTube I've seen a video, but very cool.
Looking for.
There was a film a while ago, and I think it was called I Am Mother or something.
Excellent movie. That's actually a man in that robot suit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, so Adam Savage did a video on it, and it shows them putting him in it, and it's like a full body costume, and he's in it for like 12, 13 hours or something crazy. And I was like, wow! Like when they put it on him, you can't tell there's a person in it. You can't.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good the how good the work they did on that was. It's insane.
And probably half it's probably 3D printed as well.
It wouldn't surprise me, actually, to be fair. Yeah.
Either 3D printed or they do it out of like styrofoam and stuff like that where they can carve it.
Oh no, it's like it's pucker like.
Oh, trust me, they can make styrofoam look like solid steel just by filling and primer and sanding and painting. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference with the outer finish.
I struggle to make mine look like plastic.
Marcel, we started printing any of Egghead yet?
Egghead?
Yeah, I've already got the head already done, and actually the body is being printed right now, and it's almost done.
Is that the droid that should not be named?
Yes. Which I'll just do whatever. I'll just probably print it anyway.
Okay, that's the one that I wound up had under extrusion. I threw it away. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're looking at like 102 hours right now.
Wow.
Well, I'm doing a little baby R2D2 here, and one of these are going to be going to our friends at 3D Filiprint, and the other one is going over to Guernsey to my uncle. So
nice.
I've just finishing these off now. Hopefully they'll be done in the next couple of days. Hopefully, well, this weekend at least. Anyway,
is that going to be controlled by a cell phone or a controller?
No, I managed to get hold of some FlySky remote controls for cheap, and I mean really cheap. But you can't go into the settings or anything. The settings are actually on switches on the front. So what I didn't want to do is, I can't afford to spend, £100 on a remote control for everybody. So I bought a load of these, and they're about $20, $30. And I sort of figured, well, then I'll put a butt connector in there, and I'll do the 12-volt step down to 6. So they've got kind of, they can just change out AA batteries and stuff like that, just making it really easy. So, but yeah, the switches, it might be easier for people. That's the only thing. So if you want it to drive like a tank, you can just hit the buttons and away you go.
Yeah.
So keeping it simple.
Are you coming down to Filiprint for that one, or are you?
I need to. I really want to come down there, but again, maybe when this kind of easing is started, it's a Monday that we start kind of getting back to whatever.
I was going to say it's the 12th, isn't it? 12th we start. We start.
Is it 12th? I thought it was Monday.
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever.
I think. Well, I think. I don't know. I might have made that up. Hold on.
Good luck with that, guys. I hope it works out. It's been crazy. I hope the easing actually starts working.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's easing, and then there's easing. I mean, it's not. The thing is, you could probably get. I don't know. Yeah, people are weird, aren't they? Humanity is a very odd thing, and you give people an inch, and they always take a mile. So I can just imagine it's starting to get warm. It was quite a nice day today. I can just imagine flocks of people going down to the beach just to, have the crack or whatever. But I don't know. You can just already see it failing before it even begins. So
Southend Seafront was busy today.
Was it?
Which is terrible for a lot of reasons. Mainly because it's not even a sea; it's the estuary. Secondly, if you actually go in the ocean, fun fact, you almost immediately get herpes by going into the beach in Southend. It's a terrible place. There's like little swimming heroin needles and everything. So it's awful. But the beach is still, as soon as a breath of warm weather comes about, the beach just gets packed out.
That's a shame. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh no!
And it was all packed out by the age of people who definitely don't have the vaccine yet as well.
Oh god! Well, I was quite lucky because I had it a few weeks ago. I got the vaccine a few weeks ago, but time will tell whether or not it's going to work longer term. But we shall see. We shall see what happens.
Yeah, I got my first shot like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. I think my wife got hers this last week, and I got to go back in a month for the Moderna.
Yeah, I have my second shot's on the 14th of next month.
I'm just too damn healthy. They won't give me mine.
Well, here it's anyone over the age of 16 now in Michigan.
Is it?
Anybody who's 16 or above, line up. You'll get your shot.
I think you have to be 18 here to do that at the moment. So they don't do it to kids.
And even then, you've got to have it. So at the moment, you've got to have an underlying health condition or be over 65. Oh, no, 45.
Or homeless, or
we all have underlying conditions. We're all 3D printing addicts.
Exactly true. Yeah,
exactly. It's a different type of going viral, of course.
Yeah, I told my wife if she didn't qualify for this or that on the checklist, last resort, tell them you're homeless and you live out in my backyard, and they can come over and look at the tent. Anyway, she got it done.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Did she take that well?
There's lots of states opening up now that you can go to anywhere. So like Arizona and all these other places, they will take anyone over age of 16 in most cases. Or some of them will say it's over 50, but they don't care about whether you have preconditions or not.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
We'll get there.
Yeah, if you feel like coming down to Philippine at some point, give me a shout, and then we can.
I definitely will.
I'm literally around the corner, so I can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
In Melon, I can't import pictures in Melon. I have to share my screen. There's nowhere where people can send me pictures and I can import them and then show them. But it's probably better that way, that I have them in a folder and I share my screen to show them that way.
Are you sure? Are you sure there's not a?
Yes, he can be.
I couldn't find anywhere where I could pull them in.
You can click on application window and just share.
Well, I hit share screen and I just on another monitor I open up like I did earlier.
Yeah, but if you click share screen and then you go to application window, then whatever picture you've got open, you can just share the specific application that it's opening. Rather
but before in Streamyard, I would import all the pictures directly in Streamyard on the right side. And I would just click on them. All my pictures, my start logo, my countdown timer, everything was all together, and this isn't set up that way.
This is super basic, eh?
What's that?
This is super basic, eh?
It's different, but 1080p at $15 a month is better than 720p at $25 a month.
Yeah, I mean, I'm noticing there are some kind of significant differences, even like the finesse of the names and stuff. They got nice round logos if you want to put that. Again, I haven't sort of played with it too much yet. I was going to try and do it today, but
no! Okay, my wife had to come tell me somebody else in the green room.
The wrong room.
We have David Petzel.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, the scroll bar goes up and down, and he was below where I couldn't see it until okay. JG, how you doing? What's going on, Dave? What have you been up to?
I've been way under the weather for the last 8 days. I mean, way under the weather. I had to go to the hospital, get a bunch of tests done, and I'm still not sure what's going on, but at least I can hold food down, and I haven't had any cigarettes for a week, which is big, So my thought process is really bizarre, and they think that I might have some chemicals going weird in my body. So I had a weird dream with Liam in it the other day.
Oh no!
We go like that.
Which was a dream or a nightmare?
No, Liam. I watched I watched a 2-hour documentary on M87 Star, and then they also had they talked about now how they believe black holes could actually, because of the new way of thinking, that the black holes, the singularity, may not actually be singularity. It may be singularity into another universe, which is really cool to me.
I'll be honest, that's not the same sort of dream that I have about Liam, to be fair. So, we're on different pages there, I think.
Okay. So what happened was I watched this, and then they were talking about Hawking radiation, and they were talking about how black holes actually just hold information, just energy. And so I get done watching this, and I'm thinking about it, and all of a sudden, I have fallen asleep, and Liam is talking on screen. Okay, Liam is talking on screen, and then I'm on screen with Liam. We're talking about it, and then all of a sudden, this 3D model of the universe and a black hole, how they intersect. We started talking about that, and then
and you're saying Liam was naked the whole time?
No, I was naked. Liam was actually the black hole.
Oh no!
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go.
Oh no!
Okay, now we can talk about Chris Riley's video from a few weeks ago, rods and balls. But anyway.
So anyway, long story short, it was a very bizarre night.
I would say so.
I took some extra meds, and when I got up the next morning, it was the information was just totally it was totally cool. But
well, I would say one thing.
Hey, Red Light.
If you dream that again, you need stronger meds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you either need a
David,
lot more or a lot less.
Sound like you're off a little bit just by the way you're talking. Something's not right. You don't seem to be your normal self.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you had a COVID test?
Yeah, I did. I did get a COVID test early. The COVID test was negative.
Huh.
They did some blood work. The blood work all came back negative. They're kind of waiting to see. There's a really bad intestinal virus going around right now.
Uh-huh.
So they think that maybe I got this intestinal virus, but I mean I could not hold down food any food for 2 days.
Had you eaten at your restaurant right before all that happened?
No.
Okay.
No. So, yeah. They tested for all that too. I mean, they test for E. coli. They test for salmonella. They did a stool sample, the whole bit. I mean, I had a lot of tests done in the last 7 days. So.
Well, as long as you're bouncing back, hopefully.
Did it look anything like this?
Yeah, but it didn't smell that good, Jerry.
That's funny.
Yeah, I loved it when they gave me, because, in the time of COVID, when they're doing the test, they don't give you a lot of instructions. So she came out, they did a COVID test on me, and they did this all at my doctor's office, but as a drive-through. And then she handed me this bag, and that was for my stool sample. So I got home, and it's just a friggin' bottle. And it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? So I called the doctor up, and she said, well, was there...
said you just crap in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, was there a hat in there? A hat? And I'm like, no, I didn't see it, you know. And they're supposed to be a collection, you know,
device.
A little cone.
They want you to crap in a hat.
I haven't heard anything about Murph coming out. I don't know if there's going to be a Murph this year or Earth. I don't think so.
Yeah,
so I think it's Murph is in like August, and it's in Illinois, I think.
Yeah,
Indiana.
I don't think any of those are going to be happening this year. I think this year is too uncertain. Next year, maybe.
Next year, I'll be there. I'm going to come meet everybody, and Jerry Knapp will be there next year if there is one. So,
you don't think there'll be one this year?
No.
I think the TCT show's on this year, though.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, we have a similar thing to Murph. So we have two. There's an additive manufacturing conference and there's a TCT show, and they're both. I don't know. They're both so the additive manufacturing one is really more like industry focused. They had some gorgeous machines, like big machines. Last year, me and Mike stayed up there for about a week, and we covered both the shows. And then, as we were coming back, we realised that all of our footage had become corrupted on the hard drive that we'd taken.
Oh no!
So like 4 days worth of filming, and it was all gone.
Cool. Well, I'll be up for coming up for that. It's I'll say that it depends on where we are with the baby and everything. But yeah.
How long now?
Well, we don't really know just yet, but it's May the 4th is the D date, but because there's a couple of things going on at the moment with him coming up small, they might want to take him out early. So we're just waiting for the news really and to see what happens next. But it's nothing to be sort of too concerned about or anything. But we just got to play the game really and understand what the doctors are telling us, but as and when But nothing like this poor chap's just had. I haven't had to crap in a bag or anything. So, and I've had no major vivid dreams with Space and Liam. Just stuff really. Just everyday stuff really.
Red Light, the new resin printer is doing good. I have been doing some video taping on it, and hopefully I'll get the video out within the next 24 to 48 hours. But
Jerry's just praying to get off this topic. Please just get off the topic. It's like, don't worry, please. That message was about 20 minutes ago. Oh, let's find something. Bless you.
All my engraving is done.
Is your resin printer good?
What's that?
He's not talking to me now. Is your resin printer good?
Yeah. I've got 3 now. I've got the Elegoo Mars, the Frozen Mighty 4K, and then my new Anycubic Mono X. So yeah.
I have to say, I'll be really interested to see when you do your review what your opinion on the Mono X is versus the Frozone Sonic thing. Is it Frozone? No, it's not Frozone.
Frozen, yeah. Frozen.
Yeah. I just the thing is because I don't really delve into resin printing that much anyway. I've got a Photon which I broke last week, and I've got a TN4 that I'm trying to convert to a better screen and doing other bits and pieces with it. But it's hard for someone who, in the same way as it is for someone who's getting into FDM, it's hard to. There's so many choices that it really is hard to actually figure out why one is better than the other. If you have 2 machines that are the same screen resolution and they're both monochrome, I don't understand why one is better than the other.
It's usually price would be the number one reason. The Elegoo Mars, which is smaller, I printed with that for over 2 years. I had like 2 failures. When I got the Frozen Mighty 4K, I used their recommended slicer and cheetah box with their 4K resin, and I had failure after failure after failure. So all that was in my video. I had nothing but problems. It's kind of like the mid-grade. I don't know about the large resin printers. I don't have one, but the mid-grade, they're finicky so far on the Frozen on what resin they work good with and what they don't. With all resins, you must tweak certain settings. Some things work good for this. And for instance, ZYLTECH resin, I can dump that in any machine with its stock settings for that profile, and it works fine. But when I use other resins, I start having different types of problems. So there's a lot of tweaking involved. And so far, I've used clear ZYLTECH resin on this one. And why I'm using clear is $6 cheaper than gray on Amazon right now. And I'm going to paint it and prime it, so it doesn't matter. It's just for the video's sake, it's hard to see the detail on a clear model, which is slightly yellowish. So once I prime it, then I can show it to the camera. But yeah, it's all a matter of price. You're supposed to be able to do Wi-Fi on this. The machine is structurally better built than the Frozen, it appears. But the Frozen cost me $500. This was $800, and I had a $100 off coupon. Right. So I'll have to wait and see.
Has anyone?
Sorry,
go ahead, James.
Well, I was just going to say, I remember when I bought the Photon, and the Mars came out sort of about 6 months later, and the way you level the bed on the Mars was just better than the way you level it on the Photon.
Yeah, the Mars has a ball joint.
Yeah, so with the Photon, it was easily the biggest issue anybody had with it, because really the only thing that matters, or the biggest thing that matters, is that your plate is level.
Yes.
And if it isn't level, then you're just going to get garbage prints, and it's not going to stick to the bed and everything else. And that was the biggest issue that people had with the Photon. And it was interesting that once we started to go larger, they've obviously done a fair amount to fix that leveling issue that's existed. So it's just interesting to see whether or not it's a quality thing that's better, whether because the UV is more powerful, it can go faster.
Take care, Rising Phoenix. Thanks for stopping by.
I have a question.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Jerry. No, I have a question for you, James. What's this bed leveling you're talking about? We tram our beds. We don't level them. Isn't that right? Dave? We tram the beds. We don't level them.
We tram our FDM beds.
We tram them all.
You don't tram a. Do you still tram?
Yes,
on
it's still tramming. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because you're trying to make the screen and the bed parallel to each other, not level.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair play. Yeah. Yeah. Fair play. All right.
So what's all this leveling stuff he's talking about, Dave?
But I've broken mine now, so it doesn't make any difference. But
sorry, the only thing bad about a bigger resin printer is if you don't have much resin and you need to print something, you've got to fill that vat, and you need to get up high enough to print that small piece. So you're like, man, do I throw it in the Elegoo just to get it done because it's got a smaller vat? So it all depends. I'm not going to get rid of the Elegoo. It's not a 4K screen, but the prints look great on it. So for smaller things, I can still use that. So it's all a matter of.
The problem I have is that with the size of machines with the size of models that I print, it is a little difficult for me to justify doing anything on something like the size of the Mars or the Photon, because there's very few parts of really most of, if any of my models, that would even fit in the build volume of a Photon anyway. And all I would really have is a super high quality arm and then an FDM torso. And all it really does is highlight the difference between the two.
Well, what I used to do is print hands and things that have a lot of detail and heads.
Yeah.
I would do on the Mars, and then the rest in FDM at 0.12 millimeter layer height. And then bases I always done at 0.20, and I still do. And then hands and things like that I do in resin, because it's really hard to get really high detail in hands and FDM.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm lucky with the size that I do things, really, because it does actually make stuff a lot easier. So doing a hand, a lot of the hands that I do are sort of they're a decent size. So doing them in FDM, generally speaking, isn't a particularly difficult challenge. But if I was doing,
sorry, Terry, I'm going to go in a minute, but just before I do, sorry to cut you off for a second there. Can you just put me big for a second, if you don't mind? Sure. I just wanted to show you my balls before I go.
Your what?
My balls. So this is the Lazy Susan, and inside, you get that to zoom. Inside of these, we use these little nylon balls.
Yes.
Of course, you pack them out. When the top part goes on, that's what allows it to spin. So you've got this bottom part here, or this top part here, which you basically attach the dome to on the bottom, and that's basically what turns it. So it's all 3D printed, and you buy these little 10 millimeter balls as well. So I have to get you some links for that.
Okay. So I did hear him correctly. He said he wanted to show me his balls. So okay.
Yeah. So Jerry,
right.
when you put this out, when this is done, go back in and edit and say our general hangout, and we get to see Sam's balls.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly
I've seen Mr. Bagley, Mr. Bedelli's video this morning, and I shared that over on my Facebook group.
Yeah. I haven't watched it. I actually haven't watched it yet, but I know what's going on. So it's you know, it's one of those things. But
he's got an infusion or whatever, and he's showing the whole process, and he's explaining how to build it on a voiceover.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's really, really cool. But I am going to shoot because my wife is, well, my wife is my wife. She's doing her thing. So it's really good to see you.
Would your wife want to come on camera and say hi to everybody? Would she want to do that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
I don't think so.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you guys next time.
See you soon. Take care.
Yeah, see you soon, man.
No.
just a flat no. My missus is the same. I've asked her more than once if she ever wants to come on stream.
Mine won't either.
Yeah, mine won't either.
Well, they pop in like my wife does. Brandy will grab my neck and say, hi, everybody. So, anyway.
I think it's just an excuse to choke you, isn't it? Most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody would like to drop in, you're welcome to do so. There's a link there in chat. We can have 2 more people in here, a total of 6.
So the next project for me is going to be trying to build this BLV cube. I've tried to do one before. I didn't have all the right parts. I was trying to convert a hypercube that I had to a BLV, and it just didn't work. So I ended up selling it. But this is now technically all the right parts, and I hope that it goes well. It probably won't. Don't really know what makes me think it's going to go well, but
yeah, I've invited Michael on the last 3 streams, and he hasn't even replied, and I guess hasn't.
I tell you what, he was asleep 2 hours ago.
Okay.
He's the problem is so unlike me, Mike has an actual manual job and a real job. So
Okay.
he works as a maintenance man in the construction for a local council.
Okay.
And it means that when he gets home during the week, he's sort of eats dinner and then he's wiped. And at the weekend, he's trying to do private work. So he's been doing private work all day today.
What time is it over there now?
So it's 11:15 now.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay.
So it's 11:15 at night. Yeah, so he'll have been asleep like an hour and a half ago minimum. He's been doing private work all day.
I go to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock, and my phone will go ding, ding. That'll be Facebook. So throughout the night, I get up, use the restroom, check Facebook, get a drink, whatever.
It's a nightmare for us because, to be fair, if you look at our YouTube metrics, something like 80% of our audience is American.
Mm-hmm.
So even though obviously we're a British channel, so if we want to do live streams and things, we actually have to try and do them at sort of semi-American times. So it's like 1 a.m. and we're trying to build like a cube I've never done before. That's gonna break my soul.
Yeah, and I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that my friend online here, everybody knows Non-Fam, he actually bought me coffee because I have that link to buy me a coffee, and he did. He contacted me that he had a coupon that he had won on Joe Telling's stream and wanted to know if I could use it, and he bought me 2 pounds of coffee. It's so cool. I went to the place online, and I got some being delivered. I had to pay $5 shipping, but yeah, really cool, and I thank you very much, Non-Fam. You're awesome.
Cool. Yeah. The way you're describing Mike's days, mine are similar, because half the time when I'm on here chatting with you guys, I'm still working.
Yeah.
Like even today, I was doing the laser engraving. This evening, I'll be doing some work. So my days don't end because it's the nature of international business nowadays, you know. And I'm the only person that does what I do globally, so I work whatever hours get sent this direction, you know.
Yeah. So as I say, I mean, even with the channel at the moment, Mike doesn't do anywhere near as much filming or anywhere near as many videos as he used to. You know, we do the channel together. It's both of us, and it used to be a half and half, but yeah, it's not now. He's just asleep as much as he can be.
Yeah, he posted a video this morning.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
On his Patreon.
Oh right.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it yet, but he did post one out this morning. It's about a new build he's working on. What's he called?
My wife said it's nice being retired. Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to get stuff accomplished even being retired.
Oh, I have friends of mine who are retired, and they're busier now than they ever were when we were working.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law is. He's a civil engineer, or he was, and he now plots out new building sites basically.
And I'm up to 2273 on my subscribers. Once I hit 2,500, I'm giving away tons of goodies from many companies and a few people that are donating. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. And while you're there, ring that bell. So the next time I post a video or go live, your phone will go ding, ding, ding like mine does.
Yep.
How does it go, Jerry?
What's that?
How does it go again?
What? Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He just wanted you to say that again.
When I was a little kid, the ding, ding truck would come by, the ice cream man. We called it the ding, ding truck.
The ding, ding truck, yeah.
What was that song? I have to find the name of it. Give me a second.
My Ding-a-ling?
That's the one I'm thinking of.
My Ding-a-ling. That's a
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to look that up, Jerry. You probably don't know that one, James, do you?
I know of it. Yeah, I don't know whether it was one of the greatest hits when I was a kid, but yeah.
Here we go. We've got another man coming in, and my program told me his name, which I didn't hear that earlier. Hey, Zach, what's going on?
What's up?
Hey, Zach.
Just trying to figure out how to use my new program here.
Yeah, I noticed it wasn't Streamyard. That was weird.
So she still hasn't killed you, Zach, with all those printers in the living room?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yet being the active word, yeah?
Well, this one is called Melon by Streamlabs. I can only have 6 guests on. It's 1080p at $15 a month instead of 720p at $25 a month. And so when you come in, you should be able to set your settings if you do 1080p. I haven't bought it yet. I'm experimenting with it. And when I went live, it didn't go live. And it's like, oh no, the people that were in a green room were kicked out. And the people, and my wife's like, what are you doing? It took me a minute, but I couldn't get it to go live.
How you like my latest project?
An IDEX?
Yep, built on a ZYLTECH A10.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Can't get my finger in there.
I will say, Zach, you have a few wires that are loose down there.
Yeah. That is everything that's on the 2 extruders plus the bed. So I've still got quite a bit of work left. Plus, I've got to configure it all. So
what board are you sticking in it? Because you can't do that with the stock ZYLTECH board, surely.
Well, say it again.
Sorry, so what board are you going to put in that? Because you can't do that with the stock ZYLTECH board, can you?
That is an SKR 1.4 turbo. I wanted the 1.2 Pro, but I accidentally ordered the 1.4. So
have you seen the? Have you seen? I don't know if anyone's tried them yet. The new GTR boards that they've done. Like an 11 axis thing. I really
got the 1.4 turbo in my Hypercube.
But this is a 1.4 turbo with the 3-channel stepper expansion on it.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got 7 total steppers. I'm going to have gantry leveling and all of the fun stuff.
Nice. How's the things working out with the motion of the movement of the two axes on the X?
Works good. I haven't actually had it powered yet, but you see my second belt up here. I made a tensioner down here, and I ordered this stuff from a website called Sin, cut out of aluminum. I didn't send a good model for this piece, so this is printed. It's polycarbonate carbon fiber, and I put stiffening braces on the back of it, so it'll work for now, but there is still a little bit of flex in it, so I'm going to end up getting this remade out of aluminum once I verify that everything works.
What was that originally?
ZYLTECH A10.
Okay, which was a single extruder. Now you made a dual extruder.
Right.
Okay.
And I've also increased the Z height. I don't know if
But you'd lose a lot because of the IDEX setup.
Right. I even still, I'm gaining probably 60 to 80 millimeters over the stock setup.
Huh.
Nice.
Because
I have a question.
This is the stock extrusion here.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Big
I have a
difference.
question for you, Zach.
Okay.
With regards to, do you have an adjustment for leveling E2 in tandem with E1? Like E1, you level the bed, you tram the bed on, and you need to have a way of adjusting E2 to bring them in sync.
My plan is to run a separate Z offset, and in my tool change G code, I'll Z hop home one out and then move the other one out, and then that one will have a separate tool height already preloaded.
So you're not going to be able to do mirror printing. You're
you won't be able to do mirror or duplicate printing if you do that.
The only way I'll be able to do mirror or duplicate printing is if I'm extremely lucky and they just happen to be the same, which I'm not that lucky.
Which is probably unlikely.
Yeah.
And I don't really have any desire to do mirror or duplicate because I've got 4 printers.
And to be fair, the bed, so normally when you have a printer that you want to do mirror printing on, you make the X of the bed considerably wider so that you've got a half decent amount of space to be able.
Yeah.
If you were to do mirror printing on that, you'd have a 100 mil X at best, I would imagine.
Probably not even that. I mean,
yeah.
Probably
so
60 to 80.
So there's little. So from your perspective, there's little value in having the mirror printing anyway. Yeah,
well, if you're just using it for dual color, it should be fine. The Z offset in the will fix that. But if you ever want to go mirroring, you have to put in a manual adjust on the height on each.
Oh yeah. I've been messing with duals for a long time.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like I got excited when I realized I could do an IDEX relatively cheap on this, because that's always been, I don't have to manually worry about leveling the nozzles out anymore. I can just use the Z offset and do it all in software instead of, a 100 micron difference between the two causing problems.
Have you heard of a company called? They're a new company called Jade Labo.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Their IDEX offset is really nice for the second extruder. You just turn the dial and it's got a screw inside it that changes the print head. It's nice, lovely.
It's a surprisingly simple solution to something that every other company tends to make really quite complicated. Like if you take the Ultimaker tool head, they've got retractable cores. And then they, they then have to, they've motorized that and, everything. And it's sort of.
Well, it's not motor. The offset of the Z of the second extruder is not motorized, but it's a simple turn screw, and it brings it up and down. And it's got a small bit of play, and you only need 3 millimeters at most up and down of play, and that's it. You know?
Yeah, you don't need much, but the thing is, you need to be able to do it.
Yeah.
In very small increments. Like my low profile.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the question is as well, though, have you seen where they've put the screen?
Which screen?
The screen, your touch screen that you use on the JLab or whatever it's called.
I haven't. No, I didn't look at that.
So they've literally put it flat underneath the bed, but inside of the case.
Wow. That's stupid.
Yep, super stupid. You have to sort of. Brilliant.
Did a cat just jump in front of the camera?
Yeah. So they put it completely flat into the base because they didn't want to build anything up. They've put it almost underneath the bed, and it means that if you need to touch anything and you're trying to print ABS, you have to open the doors at the front to get in, which means whatever ABS you're printing is now probably going to warp.
That's terrible.
It's a clear case where someone came in and went, oh, aesthetically, this will be really nice. And engineering-wise, this will probably be fairly easy to do because we're just cutting a square hole into a piece of aluminum. And then...
the aluminum is actually individual frames. It comes as a kit. You have to build it up.
Oh, right.
It's not a single piece. Because they released a new video of the assembly of it, talking about it, and it is an individual kit. But what they've done is instead of having normal extrusion butting together, everything is keyed so it slides in, and so there's no room for error. So it forces it all to be square when you assemble.
Right.
So
it's
they
kind
put
of
a
the
lot
same as the
thought
Jenny
into that.
printer, to be honest. So the Jenny printer is obviously wood, not aluminium, but it's the same as that. It fits together like a jigsaw puzzle, and then there's some
And there's
square
bolts,
nuts
there's
that
little
pull it all
bolts in
in.
there to put
Yeah,
it together. Yeah, that's the way they did it all, and all
yeah.
the bolts are on the inside, so you screw from the inside towards the outside, so you don't see anything on the outside. It's a nice clean finish on the outside. It's got good potential, right?
See my belt clamp for the second here.
Yeah, you have to zoom in, Jerry, for him.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Get closer. Yeah, I can barely see it. What's that? The blue?
Yeah, right
Blue
here.
one.
Yeah.
It just sits
Looks
around the spacers on the wheels here, and it's just.
It looks very similar to the one that goes on the bed of a. What is it? I guess it looks a little bit like the Prusa one, actually, but I think it looks a lot like the one that's on a GTEC A20.
Yeah.
Another thing funny too is the little ferrules that clamp on the belts for the stock Ender 3.
Yeah, the little brass ones. Yeah.
I pulled apart some crimp terminals for like 10 gauge wire, and and they work fantastic. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. Like I said, I'm going to remake this piece here. It's printed, but that's going to be made out of aluminum before it's all said and done.
So I see you're using. You needed 2 stepper motors because you're going to use auto bed tramming. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dave's very opposed to the dual steppers, but if you're going to do auto bed tramming, then you need it. All right, Dave.
I'm all about dual Z, man.
Oh yeah, we're about to do the belt between them to synchronize them. But when you're doing 2 motors, you say there's no point in it. But he is auto bed tramming. He's going to auto tram the bed using the motors.
Yeah. When you're tramming it, setting it up, I think that's
Hold on.
Somebody's at the door.
Amazon.
But when you start moving steppers, I don't think they move the same without the belt.
My dogs ran out back, and I think they knocked something over. Let me go look.
Yeah, well, but when you're doing because he's doing the auto tramming, he's going to move one or the other up to actually bring the bed in proper position.
No, I totally get it, but that's to get it into reference of the Z height, for leveling, and then but at that point, everything should lock in together with a belt. I just don't think that the steppers themselves will move relative to each other. And this is just it's just theory based on the motion of different steppers. But I think if you move 5 steppers by 100, you tell it to move 800 steps. I think each one at the end of 800 steps is going to be different heights.
I think if they move full steps, maybe not. If they're starting to move half steps and quarter steps, then you probably you run into issues, because when you're doing half steps and quarter steps, it's actually inside the stepper motor. It's actually activating two step points, and the stepper motor is being pulled between them, and it's never all the way to one or all the way to the other. It's never halfway. It's off by a little bit on each of them, and the amount will be off will vary per step and per motor. So when you're doing micro stepping, then yes, I agree with you. Full steps probably not, because they're made the same. But micro stepping in between full steps, like half steps or whatever, that's where you run into the problem of the difference.
You all, thank you for telling me. My wife mentioned on my last stream, but I wasn't sure who it was. I wrote your name down. I'll get you another sticker mailed out right away.
Where do I put this?
I'll check my email. I'm pretty sure I have your address in my email, and I'll check it out.
I keep those right over my desk.
All right.
Turn on. Don't touch anything else.
But so yeah, I would agree with you on the micro stepping that it could be off. Pity there's no way of auto tramming with a belt already on there and disengage the idler with the belt, tram, and then re-engage it for printing.
Okay.
I think with a $10 motor from China, I don't think that it's going to be as accurate as you think it will be. I just think over a certain amount of steps, it's going to be off, and maybe it's not off enough to even worry about, but it's going to be off. So I always say when I'm doing my 2Zs, I always just use a belt. I never use 2 motors. Well, because there's no reason for a second motor.
Well, what you could do is if you use a second one for tramming the bed, right, the auto tram, and then disable the stepper when you're printing. So you're only printing at one and the other stepper's just moving around like it's not locked in place.
Yeah. You're going to have the amount of force it takes to move that screw along the nut along the screw. There's no way that would work.
No, not if you have an idler over there and a belt running around, you could.
So surely it's complicated because in my mind, we can't be talking about much over the course of what the Z will do, and it's going to be consistent back and forth, up to down. I would think its start point would be the same. If you go up and you come back down, your start point's going to be the same.
That's what Dave is saying. No. What Dave is saying is no, because I see his point because there's no stepper is made the same as the next stepper, no matter how, even if they come out of the same plant on the same day from the same machine, there's going to be some variations because there's variance allowed. And on full steps, chances are you're going to be fairly good. It's when you're doing half steps and so on is when you run into it. And over time, they will go out of sync is what Dave is saying. And I would tend to agree with him that it would over time. But a way around that I was just thinking would be to do the tramming with the second stepper. And when you're done tramming the bed, using the second stepper, let them have idler, just disable it. So now belt 1, stepper 1 drives the whole system, and the second one just sits there and spins like you move it manually because the stepper's disabled. It just rotates.
Yeah, are we talking Core XY machines?
No.
Okay.
Bed singers.
So just out of interest, would the problem be solved by closed loop steppers, or because are closed loop steppers not able to detect half steps?
It wouldn't solve it. It's not that it can't detect half steps. The way half a step works is you have more steppers at 1.99 or 1.8, right? So 1.8 degrees of the radius of the stepper is what you're getting is a 1.8. Yeah. And you have 1.8 of a degree. And when you're doing half step, what happens is the 2 step controllers are activated, and what caused the rotation period, which is basically it's magnetic, right? What caused rotation is actually being pulled between these 2 points. Now, when you have a slight,
you just flipped everybody off. You know that, right?
Sorry? I was doing my finger like this, my hand, and I was doing like this.
There we go.
That was a gang sign, by the way.
It was, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do an Ozzy Osbourne version of it. Okay,
there we go.
Point, right? But what's going to happen is each one of those is going to have a slightly different charge, and that variation of charge is going to vary whether it's going to swing towards one more or towards the other, and that's how half step work. So when you're doing half steps, or sometimes you can get away with quarter steps. It's actually based on the charge that's pulling the head towards one or towards the other in the stepper motor. That's how the electronics inside operates.
So, but what we're saying is that a closed loop stepper motor wouldn't be able to give that level of feedback to say that the quarter step, because a quarter step is an approximation of how much charge a quarter of a step should take, rather than this is a quarter of a step.
Oh well, most times you get half steps. You don't really get quarter steps. But even
I know you. I get the.
Let's move on from steppers. We've been on it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think you're going to come down to an argument about metrology and how accurate can you actually be, because I feel like if it was something significant, there would be people reporting issues with it, especially with as many multi-stepper axes as we have now. Like, I mean, I've got a 3Z axis on my stream drive. The Hevo RTs I'm building at work all have 3Zs. I feel like it would be a noticeable issue. And from my experience, all of those machines have fantastic Z consistency.
Liffy Pick, if you're still in chat, thank you very much for the $20 on PayPal. I appreciate that very much. So Chewy, if you're still watching, thank you very much. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to make a move because I need to get up and do some stuff in the morning, and I actually need to be able to wake up.
Well, so, I think it's really awesome. Nice enough to come on. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I know. It's not been intentional to say. It's just been a busy one. So thanks very much for joining, guys. So thanks very much for having me. Sorry, yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.
Take care. Thank you.
See you.
Yeah, guys. Bye.
Bye. And then there were 4.
Yep.
That's
loving those contracts.
That's a good one.
Did that play loud enough, I hope?
Yeah, we heard it.
Right. Yeah, that was good.
I'm hoping SpaceX will launch tomorrow.
Yeah, I've been waiting day after day, and they cancel. It's like, come on, let's see it go.
They had weather issues, and then they did a static fire, and one of the engines gave a problem, so they had to pull out one of the engines overnight, and then they had to do another static fire, which they did yesterday. But and that was successsul. But
how high are they going to go? Is this one going to be orbital and then come back and land, or?
It's 10 kilometers up.
Okay.
They're not. They want to make sure they can get up and land repeatedly first
and quit bouncing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually what's going to happen is they're building to go orbital. They have to put that rocket that you see on the screen all the time on top of another booster. So it's going to be the tallest rocket ever built, right? And so that part that you see being tested right now is going to go on top of another one that's even taller. And because that's in a high bay right now, they've actually built it. That's the main booster. And their goal is eventually the main booster, that when it goes up, they're actually talking now about catching it rather than landing it. So they're going to bring it back down and grab it in the air and then drop it in the spot, refuel it, and get ready for launch again.
It's like a big robot arm. It's going to come down like it's going to land. It'll grab it, clamp it. They'll cut engines. It'll set it down.
They don't know. What we believe is the only way to do this is to bring it down and have flaps on the side come out, and then when it gets into an area in between these two connectors, whatever they are, it would actually land on top of that, and then that would actually reel it in and bring it into its spot. Because there's going to be no people in that one. That's only a booster rocket.
People in chat, I have a question. What do you guys think of this Melon, this program I'm using now instead of StreamYard? Does the quality look better? What do you think about it? Other than I screwed up the beginning and it wouldn't run, but what do you think about this program? Does it seem to be any different than what we would normally use? I know on the back end it's a lot different.
I think it's okay.
Because I can do, like I say, 1080p at $15 a month versus $25 a month at 720p. But I can only have 6 guests on here, in which instead of 10, but we're down to 4 now, so we don't do 10 very often.
So, Liam, did I ever tell you that I live within driving distance of Wallops Island?
No, well, you just did.
Yeah, so it's like a 2-hour drive. I could go watch the resupply launches.
Oh, you should. Yeah.
We went out to. Are you familiar with the geography around Wallops Island at all?
No.
So Wallops Island is the eastern shore of Virginia. It's like a peninsula that comes down around the Chesapeake Bay. We watched it from basically the very, very tip of the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay looking north. And me and my wife went and saw one. It was, I think they launched like at 8:30 at night. So it was pretty dark.
It can change anytime, yeah. It depends on when the space station is going to be around, yeah.
But it was dark, and it was awesome because you're just looking out at the ocean, right?
Yeah.
And then from that distance, and because it was over water, it looked like the sun started to come up. And you could just see the glow, and then the glow condensed down into a little tiny dot. We watched it go out.
How far are you from Wallops at that point?
Hold on. Let me look at the map.
I was only asking for an estimate, is all, because if you're within certain distance, like if you're 5 or 6 miles away, you can feel the launch.
Oh yeah, no, we were much further than that.
From when the sound reaches you from the launch.
Probably 80 miles, 80 to 100
you wouldn't feel it that far away.
No, there was no sound at all.
You
could see it.
You won't feel it. I've been within 3 miles of a launch, and I mean your whole body vibrates. It's an amazing feeling. You can feel it, the pressure of it hitting you on the chest. It's something special.
Yeah, and when I got a super chat earlier, I didn't even notice it in this. My wife had to come tell me because I didn't look over at my YouTube chat. So that didn't automatically pop up in here either. So, yeah, I'm still paying for Streamyard. I haven't canceled it. I wanted to try this out for a while and determine whether it's good or not. So I sure wish at $25 a month I had 1080p on Streamyard, but I don't. And that's like a $50 plan. If you pay monthly, it's like $40-something a month to pay monthly.
Or to go up to 1080p?
Yeah.
What do you really gain at 1080p?
More zits on your face and age spots, stuff like that,
Yeah, but I mean, really and truly, what unless the person on the other end is 1080p, and also the individual that you're when you're bringing somebody to the fore as 100% screen, if they're at 720p with their camera,
that's all you're going to see is 720p.
Yeah. So do you ever, the 1080 plus the bandwidth it takes to do 1080? So do you really gain anything by having 1080?
No, not really.
Your eyes can really at 720 can see everything.
Yeah.
That's a lot of resolution for your eyes. For you to visualize.
Well, from what I've seen about this today, quite a few of you guys, and I made you big, you look all fuzzy, and people in chat, including my wife, said different people look fuzzy, and that shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be looking fuzzy.
Well, I was on Wi-Fi earlier on. I think I still am on Wi-Fi. I haven't changed because I didn't drop the link. I was worried in case the link would go down. But if you're on hardwire, it should not be. You should get better resolution. Yeah, at 1080p you get to see the wrinkles.
Dum Dum Developer, what's going on? Hey, Dum Dum, you've never dropped in on chat. Why don't I drop you the link and you pop in and say hey, if you want to. Here's the link. If anybody'd like to drop in, we can have 2 more people in here. If you'd like to come in and talk about what you're working on, or your projects, your hobbies, or just whatever. So everybody's welcome. I'm trying out a new app called Melon by OBS Studios. Streamlabs makes it.
Yeah,
I thought you said OBS made it.
Well, Streamlabs OBS makes it.
Oh, okay.
So, and in the description below, I've got a referral link if you want to click on it and try it out. There's nothing to download. You log into them like Streamyard, so you're welcome to try it out.
Yeah. Well, I might be dropping Streamyard once my other service that I have gets their act together and includes adding guests to conversations. They don't do it right now. they need to add that feature so you can actually bring other people in.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like OBS. I tape in OBS. I can stream straight in OBS, like to do a live stream or something solo, and it's perfect quality, and it's got all the bells and whistles like Streamlabs. But I don't think you can bring guests in. Or if you can, it's very complicated to do that.
Well, they have to create their own stream, and then you take their stream and tie it into yours.
Something like
you
that.
restream it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to set up an RTMP stream, and you have to get their RTMP keys, and then you can capture that and then restream it. Is what happens. So it does.
Yeah. The biggest challenge I have for the next 2 days is instead of Movie Studio Platinum 16 that I mentioned earlier, I'm trying out DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve. I got the free version, and Tripod. John gave me a link to where I can go and buy some call-outs. You put call-outs in it. So on the video for the Anycubic, I can talk about different key points and have a little thing pull up on the screen with like an arrow pointing to it. I don't know how to do those. I don't know how to install them. So I need to try to figure it out. You have to pay like $29 for like a month subscription. You can download all those different things. So I got to figure out how to do it because I would like my video quality to get better. I can't hire anybody to go in and edit my videos like some streamers do. If I was big and made a lot of money, I would hire somebody from the community I could throw everything in a Dropbox. They could download it and make me an awesome video, but I can't afford to hire anybody to do that. So I would like to try to make things better, to try to help everybody out and give everybody my opinion on this and that. So,
yeah, it's good software. There's a learning curve, but it's good software.
Is anybody having any buffering problems? I haven't buffered or heard of anybody having a buffering issue.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I'm not. I don't have anything pulled up to tell me what I'm streaming. I'm on a very high tier with Cox Cable here in Vegas. I pay for my phone and just my internet. I pay $130 a month.
I pay less than that for mine.
Yeah, I got 1 gig downloads and like 35 up, something like that. And I know in some other countries, they got deals that completely wipe us out in the U.S. They're much higher speeds for a lot less money.
Actually, I've heard...
But we have Amazon.
Yeah.
Dude, I've got Verizon Fios. It's like $140 a month, and I get TV with DVR plus 1 gig fiber with 1 gig up, 1 gig down. Super crazy low latency.
Wow.
I hear Comcast later this year are supposed to equalize up and down speeds. They're planning on doing it. They can do it. They just haven't. So they're talking about equalizing the up and down speeds later this year.
Yeah, Dum. I'll be checking out DaVinci later. I watched a couple videos on YouTube about it. And some of the things look similar to Movie Studio Platinum, the way I do things. So I just got to go in and figure it out. So I can try to make a good video for my Anycubic here. I usually drag and drop. I have all my video clips and stuff over here and my pictures in one file on this monitor, and I just drag them, drop them in the studio wherever I want them, and then I cut them. I'll watch them and cut them and cram them together or fade them and, stuff like that.
So, confirm, isn't Tim is on tomorrow night, isn't he?
Yes. Tim is on, DWIT 3D is on at 6 p.m. Pacific. Tomorrow night, he's up in Canada. He just went over 500 subs, and he has a lot of giveaways. DWIT 3D, and I'm surprised he hasn't dropped in here today. So
he's probably still working though right now.
Yeah, well, a lot of times he'll have to let it run in the background since he's the owner boss. So one of 2 people.
Yeah,
and all the comments are right down here in this one corner. So yeah.
It works. I think this is okay. I don't see an issue with it. You need to get the scheduling down so it works without issues.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I had it scheduled, and then something earlier today said reconnect, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought I was already connected. So I clicked on that again. Maybe that's what screwed it up. I don't know. And then when I said go live, it says, okay, give it a name, and what's the description? It's like, I've already done that. So the minute I tried to redo it, it kicked all you guys out that were in the green room. And I don't know, somehow I refound it and it worked. So it just took like 10 minutes. All right, red light. He's the boss and his wife ain't home. You out in the garage working right now, Red Light? Why don't you drop in and show everybody your neatly organized garage?
Yeah, I have cars in mine, so I don't have room for stuff like that.
I don't even have a garage.
I have one because it just gets too damn cold here in winter. You need to have it.
Yeah, my garage here, it's a 2-car garage out of one big roll-up door, and that's for tools and equipment and benches, and cars belong in the driveway. But then again, the sun is hot here in town, and if you've seen my vehicle, the sun destroys paint jobs.
Yeah, you should put a tent up, doing on those canopies.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Red Light just got into resin printing. That's cool. What are you printing, Red Light? I just ran out of gloves. You know, before this thing happened over the last year, you could get a huge box of gloves for $4.99. Are you out of your mind? At Harbor Freight, the blue nitrile gloves.
Nitrile, yeah, nitrile, yeah.
Now you get half as many for $20. It's ridiculous.
Do they not have them anymore at Harbor Freight?
Yeah, they have them, but they're $20 a box to get half as many. And so there used to be $5.99.
You're lucky to be able to find them in stock too. I've rarely ever seen them in stock.
Yeah, I went to Walmart a while back, and I bought some in the chemical section. They were clear. They're not as heavy, but they're all right, and they're $11.99. And today I went to the grocery store, and I forgot to buy them, so I jumped on Amazon and spent, I don't know, $17 for a box. Will be here tomorrow. But I'm done resin printing for the day, so I can wait till tomorrow. But yeah, everything just keeps going up and up. And then ZYLTECH, their filament. You know, if you use my code 3DHP at checkout with ZYLTECH.com here in the U.S. or in Texas, you get 15% off your total order. They used to have free shipping over $75. Well, that's gone away because of the pandemic. Prices went up. Their filament that used to be $15.99 is now $19.99, and they say normally $23.99. And I asked them, is that going back down? And she's like, well, this is happening, that's happening. Everybody's jacking up their prices over the last year. And once they're up there, there's nothing saying they're ever going to come back down. Then most of the filament I got off Amazon, I was paying $15.99 a roll. 3D ZYLTECH, it's all now $20 a roll.
So everything has gone up because the supply is diminishing.
Yeah.
Or is gone in a lot of cases. So getting raw materials is a problem.
Yeah,
even
a lot of
computer chips.
Yeah, people not working everywhere around the world. And obviously we know that's true because so many people, they're just starting to go back to work. So maybe it'll normalize and things will go back down.
So even in automotive, they're finding that the ICUs that are used in cars, the computer controllers, they're finding that then there's a shortage of those. Like the new Mustang, the Mustang E, the electric car, they were only able to build X amount this year because the manufacturer could not make them and could not make enough because of COVID. So there's limits and there's limitations, and that's going to drive costs up on those products too.
So I heard that Big Tree Tech is discontinuing all of their LPC-based boards because of chip shortages.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So, yeah, latex gloves like you use working with bleach or any kind of chemicals like that, they work perfectly fine for resin. Disposable. Some people buy them, they don't get disposable, but then you got to clean them off really good. So, but I prefer to use disposable. And this new resin printer came with 3 or 4 sets. That was nice. They were too big for my hands, but I was still able to use them.
That's worth the price of the printer, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it had a couple filters with it, but for straining resin, I go to Harbor Freight, the automotive, well, not automotive, but in the area where they sell the spray guns, you can buy big boxes of filters real cheap. At least they used to be real cheap. They kind of look like a Dunsat, and they got filter screens in them, so they work real good.
They do.
Okay.
They work well.
I gotta go feed the dogs.
All right.
What is it, 7:20 already? Well, 7:30?
You can move me to the green room if you want, otherwise I'll just leave my mic muted.
Okay.
Go into bed.
Yeah, Yoab has to get going. Yoab, I'll look through my emails. I'll find your email where you sent me your address, and I will get that sent out to you tomorrow. Mail don't go on Sunday, but I'll get it in the mailbox tomorrow.
Cool.
And Chris Travis is back. Hey, Chris Travis, you dropped in last time. Why don't you pop in and say hey and show everybody your Sanix model and that other really cool thing you printed out of, I believe, pre-cement. You're very welcome to drop in and hang out.
Oh, I have some iForm. Has anyone tried the iForm filament resin before?
iForm? No.
iForm?
Yeah, it's what's the name of the company? 1 second, let me find it. It's from Yosu. They have a thing an iForm 181 resin. No,
I have. Is it? Oh, that's Yoyi. That's
it's Yosu.
Yosu. I have tried Yosu resin. I think I've tried the resin.
Was it good?
It printed fine. Yes.
Okay.
I printed that on my Mars. Did I? I'd have to watch a video because my Mighty 4K, I think I tried that on that printer. I can't remember how it went, but I think it was okay. I want to say most resins are okay, but when it comes to mid-size printers, you've got to tweak this and tweak that. And 3DRS, 3D Resin Solutions, sent me 3 bottles of their resin, $158 for all 3 bottles. They sent it so I told them I'd do 1 video, 1 bottle, 1 video. They sent me 3 bottles. I still have 1 video to do, and I've had a lot of failures. So I've had to tweak this, tweak that. My exposure time on the Frozen Mighty 4K when I got it was like 1.5, I think it was in the bottom layer or something like that. I've kicked that all the way up to 3. Now it's up to 5. And then my dense support layers I've increased quite a bit. So things have got better. So it's just a matter of certain resins don't just work. You got to tweak a lot of things. But with ZYLTECH resin, it seems like you dump it in, go with the stock profile, and it's fine. But and then we'll see how it goes on Anycubic.
Well, I'm going to get some of this. It's coming in the next few days. Now that it's starting to warm up a little bit, I'm going to move my resin printer out to my garage and do printing out there. I don't want to print in the house because of the resin odors. Yeah,
it's not bad, but you will be able to smell it. So it needs to be in a well-ventilated area. And if it's the house, I have a big Winix filter that sits on the floor. But depending on the resin, sometimes I can be in another part of the house and I can very faintly detect it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stick it in the garage and do it out there.
Okay.
That way the smell won't bother anybody, unless you're walking in or out of the garage.
Yeah.
So, and to vent it, pop the doors when the print is over. When I'm opening the lid, let the air take care of it.
Yeah.
So,
and if somebody wanted to get a printer and just wanted to start out, I've never tried the Frozen Mighty Mini 4K, but I would recommend going with the Mini 4K because it's smaller, it's cheaper. You don't have a huge investment. And mid-size, like I say, on the Elegoo Mars, which is smaller, anything I dumped in it printed perfect. And I have, like I said, only had like 2 failures in 2 years. Yeah. But when you get into bigger stuff, a lot of things change. It isn't the same. It's like, what the hell's wrong? I printed hundreds of models, and now I'm having failure after failure after failure. What's going on? So I don't have dementia yet, so it's not my brain, but I don't know. So
you're getting the hang of those buttons, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm glad, I've had this thing for like a year, and I'm glad I finally got it to work. I just got to program more things.
I use mine all the time. I mean, I'm doing the unboxings and so on. I always have it up there because it's easy to switch it. You're not touching the screen. Just push a button and you get where you want to be.
Yeah.
I even use it for meetings for work because I can actually mute myself. I can unmute all. I can do all of those with those shortcuts. And I have a folder for WebEx, and I have a folder for the other, like Zoom or whatever, and I have the shortcuts built in there, and I just hit buttons, and I can do it all by pushing a button rather than having to navigate around and clicking here and then clicking here and then jumping menus. Mm-hmm. Just a button pushing, it's done. Makes life so much easier.
Yeah. It's just getting everything programmed right is the only thing that's kind of a pain sometimes.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what to do.
Some of them you have to find the keyboard shortcuts, and then program the keyboard shortcut buttons into doing some of them. But if something that's already has, if it's already built into OBS that you have the functionality, then you can just leverage it and it makes life easy.
Yeah, with the Elegoo Mars, it was sitting near me most of the time that I had it. Because it's real small, you're working with a lot less resin. And usually the only time I would notice an odor is when I first take the top off and you're right in front of it. You could barely smell it. Now I'm working with a bigger, the other resin printer has a bigger vat, more open area. And this Anycubic has 2 big fans in the back to help exhaust things out the back. So you got a lot of resin, open up, you smell more. So
actually, you have way more experience. I don't have an awful lot of experience with resin. I'm way better with this FDM, right? How well would a resin printer work in a garage where sunlight comes into the garage if the cover's on while it's printing?
Direct sunlight, I wouldn't want to try that. I mean, it's shaded, it'd be fine. If you got your door up, as long as the sun isn't actually beaming in on it, it should be fine.
Okay.
The cover should protect it, but I wouldn't have it out in direct sunlight where UV can hit that. Just to test
yeah, I wasn't thinking direct sunlight. I was thinking like light would come in a window or something like that.
As long as
I've never used it in the garage. I've used it in the house.
Beaming on it, the cover should protect it, but I wouldn't have direct sunlight actually beaming on
because of the UV. Yeah, because of UV effects. Yeah,
exactly. Just in case.
Well, I'm just asking because you have way more resin experience than I do.
I don't have anything near a window, but as an example, if I have, take a UV light and a little cup of resin, and within a second it starts cooking it, it gets hot, and it cures it that quick. If I walk outside with that in my hand, it'll start cooking it that quick too because of the sunlight outside.
There's even more UV out there,
yeah. And on silent days, a lot of people, get a tan. They're like, well, I can't get a tan. It's cloudy. Guess what? You can get more of a tan. The UV is still coming through those clouds. You can't see direct sunlight, but you can still tan in the shade.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends on which version of the UV. Some UV is blocked by the clouds.
Yeah. So. And then it's like people that go to the lake and they get sunburned. It's like, why'd I get sunburned at the lake? Because you got that giant mirror of that water everywhere and it's just frying your body.
Yeah. So so you can get burned on a cloudy day. I don't think you can get much of a tan on a cloudy day, but you can get burned on a cloudy day.
And in construction, my wife always asks when I work construction, I always wore short sleeve shirts, but a lot of times guys wear long sleeve. There's two reasons for that. One, they keep cooler. When you sweat in a t-shirt or long sleeve, it keeps you cooler because the air dries it off. Two, the sunlight's directly on your skin, which is baking your skin, getting it hot, and gets you darker. That's why a lot of black people, they wear long sleeve shirts, is because they'll get darker if they're out in the sun. If they're fair skinned or not that dark, that's why they wear long sleeve shirts when they're out and working, because the skin will get you a lot darker and it keeps you cooler. So
and it stops them from burning as well because you wear the long sleeves. Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine, my brothers, they went to high school together, and he's got melanoma. I think it's on his back, and it's turned to cancerous. He's having all kinds of problems, and it's a little tiny spot that he got. He used to go out the lake all the time and be out in the sun, wearing shorts, and I did that for years. I'd get coconut oil. I didn't know with no UV protection. I'd lather up with it constantly. I look like a grease monkey, and I always get really dark, but I haven't been out in the sun, and since I had my medical problems the last 2 or 3 years, I haven't been out in the sun much. But I'm really super dark, like I'm Hispanic normally. So,
yeah, I normally tan pretty well. I might go red a little bit at first, but then that changes to brown. So I normally adapt pretty well, and I like being out in the sun all the time anyway. I love being out.
You wear safety glasses at work, and you got a raccoon tan from it. So,
yeah. Yeah, I work construction when we didn't have to when we never wore safety glasses.
Yeah.
When I was younger, safety glasses wasn't the norm. I think it's the norm now. But when I was younger, I did some work because my dad worked construction. I spent my weekends and my vacations working on site with him.
Yeah,
we never wore safety glasses.
Yeah, I see all the time commercials. They'll show a guy with a brand new clean hard hat on, no safety glasses. Yeah, that's a stage commercial. It's not even factual. He's not wearing safety glasses.
Well, we used never wear them in the past, right? And when I was young, and you'd be out there using an angle grinder, and you wouldn't have safety glasses on. You'd be squinting instead.
My brother lost most of his hearing. His ears ring really bad from running skill saws for years as a carpenter, not wearing earplugs.
Yeah, my dad, before he passed, his hearing was pretty bad from using not just skill saws but table saws and all this kind of stuff because he had a workshop at home.
Yeah, my number one thing that I say to my wife all day long, all night long is huh, because I can't hear her. She likes to talk to me when she's not in front of me from another room, and I can't understand her.
Yeah, this happens when you're working with loud stuff. Like we worked with a jackhammer.
Yeah,
you lose your hearing if you're around a jackhammer long enough.
Yeah, I've ran a lot of jackhammers. Yeah. Driven a lot of forklifts, water trucks. Ran a few. I've been a signal man for the crane. I've done a lot of things.
Yeah, or even if you don't work construction, all that time at loud concerts, that's going to ruin your ears too over time.
Yeah, I was on this one job one time. There was a couple of people visiting Las Vegas, and they walked by and they said, "Hey, I got a bet with my buddy. How does that crane operator get up there in the tower crane? He's got an elevator, right?" I said, "No, he has to take stairs." I said, "Once a tower crane gets up so high, they'll have a gangplank that comes from the building over to the tower, but he still has to climb up the stairs. You go up, there's a landing, then you turn and go up, landing, turn, go up, to get all the way to the cab."
Yeah, it's a ladder all the way up.
So if you was to slip and fall, you would only go to the next level down, hypothetically. You wouldn't go straight to the bottom, but yeah. It's pretty dangerous.
Hurt, though, and that's if he was lucky enough not to come out between the support structure of the crane.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, he'll bring down a whole bunch of Gatorade bottles, and we're not going to discuss what's in those, but yeah.
Yeah. Yellow Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you do what you do,
The exposure time on my Mars, I run Cheetah Box, I go in, I pick the Mars printer, it has defaults, and that's how I left it. I don't change the exposure time on that. With the bigger mid-size resin printers, even though you have a default profile with different resins, you have to tweak different settings with the bottom exposure times, supports, density, different things. But with the smaller Mars, everything worked on a stock profile just fine. Facebook groups for any of the brands of resin or the printers, they constantly talk about that, about what they're changing on this and that. But with the smaller Mars, I had no issues.
Well, you generally find that no matter how much we get into being makers because we like to tweak stuff.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we do. That's half of what we do is actually modifying and tweaking stuff to get something out of it that it's.
Well, I had so many failures on the Frozen Mighty 4K that when I got this anti-cubic the other day, I automatically wanted to go in and tweak a few settings because I didn't want to start out with my first print being a failure. But, the first print was a test print, so that's never going to fail. And then I made a mistake that when I took the first print off, it came with two scrapers. The black plastic one that you wipe the FEP out with or clean the FEP with, which is small. These are like on the Elegoo Mars. They're great. They're really great. And then it came with this great big spatula, which actually has a beveled edge, which is nice. And when I went to take the lattice cube off the build plate, I was hitting it with this plastic one. Well, this is the wrong one. I didn't pick up the right one. So I broke the lattice cube off the base. I'm going to edit that in my video, but I used the wrong scraper automatically. Yeah. And then the Frozen Mighty 4 came with a yellow one that you could bend in two that was completely worthless. The one that came with the Frozen was the scraper was worthless for anything because it was so flexible.
Yeah, that's only for starting up your resin if you're just sitting there for a while.
Well, things stick to the bottom. If you have a failed print, you got to go through and you can drag it through the resin like a lawnmower making paths to see what's on the bottom.
They should do one of those. What they should do with those is they should make them as they are, but they should put little slots in it. So you can actually make it like a scoop. We just go through and scoop out the parts.
Yeah.
That'd be a good design, a good maker design.
I'll catch y'all later.
All right, take care, Zach.
Take care, Zach. Thank you, Zach.
That would be a good mod to make.
Yeah, red light, if you want to know, I can pull up my slicer for the Mars, and I can tell you what exactly it is for the exposure times. But I just go with stock settings on it in Cheetah Box. Let me find it here.
No, I use the stock settings for my 002R as well, and it works fine. You know what, Jerry? I think I might drop out and go get dinner.
I'll get you minimized. Hold on. You figure out where you're at. I can't see you yet. Oh, there you are. Well, thank you very much for coming by. I appreciate it, Liam.
Of course, always. And I will go get fed. I'm starving. It's almost 8 o'clock here, so it's well past dinner time. So have fun, guys.
Take care and thank you. Here, I'll pull my screen up here. Thank you, Liam.
I'll probably see you tomorrow night on Tim's show.
DWIT 3D. Tim, at 6 p.m. Pacific, is having a lot of giveaways.
Yep. I'll see you there, guys.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
JG, how you doing? Let's see, Cheetah Box. Let me go to my settings. Elegoo Mars. And I got stock settings here, basically. Okay, here's the screen here. You want to see red light? And these are all default settings. And the Mighty 4K, which I started out at like, I don't know, 1.5 or 2. I've got that clear up to 5. And that seemed to solve my problems. And the Anycubic Mono X, here's their stock settings right here. Exposure time. Well, their exposure time was like 1.5, and I kicked it up to 3. I didn't want my prints to fail because I had so many problems with that other mid-sized printer. So I kicked them up to 3. My dense support layers were like 50. I kicked them up to 80. But on the Mars, it's like stock profile, and any resin I put in it just worked fine. So hope that helped you out. And if not, you can always message me, email me, PM me, and we can chat, or I can send you some info, whatever you want. I'm always here to help people. So I'm not an expert at nothing. I just know what I know by what I do, and I have problems all the time with everything I do. Sometimes things are great, and sometimes they're not.
Such is life. C'est la vie.
Yeah.
Some things are easy, some things are not.
And I hope you start feeling better, Dave.
I'm not feeling that bad today. Feeling a lot better than in the past few days. So that's, I'm loving that. I got this direct drive thing going on, and I got to get them all online, and then I got to get the video of it being installed, and then I've got so much stuff to do with it. So it's just, I've been busy, and I just haven't had time. And then with my father-in-law, he passed away. So
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So they had the funeral, and I couldn't go to the funeral because I was sick. So yeah, that sucked.
Well, I plan on streaming till I'm 100 years old. I'll be 57 June 12th. I don't plan on going anywhere for a long time. When I was 17 years old, my dad passed away at 57, and so most of my life I have without my dad. So
you're June 12th?
Yeah, June 12th. And I'm a Cornhusker born in Lincoln, Nebraska.
June 18th, man.
Oh, cool. You're a Gemini too then. My sister's 19.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours, so I think I'm going to call it. We've slowed way down, and I'm going to rewatch this to see what I think of Melon and whether I'm going to keep it or not. I'm on a trial right now for free, and we'll see how it goes comparing this to StreamYard, whether I'm still paying for StreamYard. I haven't dropped anything yet, but I can have up to 10 people in StreamYard on at 720p, and it's different, so I'll have to decide if I want to use one or the other or not. So, but I hope you feel better, Dave.
Okay, Jared. We'll see you, man.
Let me go back to my other screen here. Where's that? Oh, where's my screen at? Video. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure you check out DWIT3D tomorrow night. He's having a bunch of giveaways. I'm working on my video for my Anycubic right now. I have another resin video to do. I'm working on a ComGrow video for my little, they sent me a laser, and I got that on one of my Ender 3s right now. And yeah, I've got a couple different things going here and there. And please like, subscribe, share this. If you'd like to donate or if you want some cool discounts, they're down below in the description. So with that being said, let me find my exit screen here, and I'll talk to everybody later. And I don't even see it. It's hiding from me. I'm looking for it. Where is it at? I think this is it right here. Let's see. Let me pull myself